All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan. And the Fan Sports Network, good morning. Hello. Happy Thursday, everybody.
What is happening?
How you doing? How you feeling?
Feeling fantastic. It's a Thursday. The week's flying on through. We're almost there.
Yeah.
3-day weekend on the horizon.
Feels like a Friday.
It does kind of have a Friday vibe to it. It's going to be 80 degrees today.
Yeah.
80 Thursday going into a 3-day weekend feels like a Friday.
It has vibes, yeah.
It's like,
definitely.
I bet a lot of people are taking tomorrow off of work.
I have a lot I need to get done.
Yeah, got a lot on the to-do list, the honey to-do list.
And there's a part of me that just wants to golf after the show.
Today or tomorrow?
Today.
Yeah, it's going to be 80. Yeah. I had the same thought earlier in the week when I'm looking at the weather. I'm like, 80 degrees on a Thursday or Friday?
Better than hot golf, man.
Hot golf is the best.
I love hot golf.
And 80 degrees
so
this time of year is hot golf.
Oh, it feels like 100 degrees and 80 degrees.
We're not built for this. I'm not ready for it quite yet. When I played, when that one day that it was like 90 and I played, it whooped my ass and it showed me I'm not quite ready for 90. I need my 80 rounds to get my body into shape from my 90 rounds that are coming later this summer.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
You got to ease your way into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good day to golf. You can find a tee time.
I wanted to ask you a sports question to kind of lead the show today.
Fire off. That's what we do.
Because I didn't know if it's like really worth much of a segment, although it kind of morphs into a segment, I guess, in a roundabout way if I bring it up. Mm-hmm. What is it specifically you think where every football player involved in a car situation went to Georgia? Like, what are the statistical odds that every car-related story, sans a Rashee Rice in the National Football League, tends to lean, oh, he's a Georgia Bulldog? Whether
you're still there or not, whether you've moved on from your time in Athens or
Where
not.
Where did he get the ticket?
Back
in Georgia. How is this possible?
I don't know. I don't know how it's possible to continue happening. It just blows your mind of like what Kirby Smart is one of the best coaches
of all time.
In the modern era to win, multiple championships. And you got to win multiple games. It's not just winning a BCS game and that's it. He had to win multiple playoff games in order to do it. He won back-to-back national championships. Nobody questions his ability to instill culture, to put a good football team on the field. Like, none of that is an issue for him. Whatever he is doing when it comes to getting his current or former players to not be morons behind the wheel, you got to go back to the drawing board, Kirby, because whatever the message is, it's not working. I saw this yesterday, and it's one thing like, I don't know. I'm not like excusing 85 in a 55.
He was going 135 in a 70. He was going 65 above the speed limit.
Double the speed limit, Nolan Smith, back in Georgia, 135 miles an hour. Like, we've all been there on I-5 going, you're running late or there's not a lot of cars. You're going 80, you're going 85. Like, we've all done that. And so to get that speeding ticket, you're like, 80 in a 65 or 80. Well, all right, that's speeding. You're going to get a ticket. 135? What are you, a NASCAR driver?
I may or may not know somebody that every day that they've driven into 84, them and the collective traffic at 4:45 a.m., this person I know.
This person you've heard of.
Are going 70 to 75 collectively.
It could be anybody driving in on 84 every morning.
It's just somebody I know.
Could be anybody.
And I'm not kidding. There's at least 5 cars I will count
that are faster than that person.
Weaving in and out of that person in the flow of traffic. And I'm like,
you're already going 20, or that person, I should say, my apologies, is already going 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. You're already moving at a good pace.
They're already going fast.
I'm already speeding.
That person is going 100 miles an hour at a minimum.
85's not fast enough for you? You're running that late for work? I'm not buying it.
But I want you to think about that for a second. Imagine you're going 70 miles an hour down the highway, which I'd make an argument. Oregon is so old in what our speed limits are.
Yeah, we need to update them.
55s.
Yeah, everything should be 65.
Dude, as soon as we get to the great state of Washington up north, I see 70 and I go, we're going 75 now.
Push that pedal down.
But most of us going 70 at one point. I want you to imagine what you think 135 on that highway would look like passing you, because I'm telling you, I've seen people that I know going 75. And there will be somebody, but like, that ain't 135.
No.
That's like, oh, you're going 90.
That's 90-something.
You're going maybe 95.
You're going fast, you're going 90, and that still makes me feel uncomfortable when you whiz by me on the left lane.
135 is a crazy speed.
That's insane.
To be going down the highway at.
Never in my life, even in my dumbest days of youth and childhood, did I ever even have the desire to hit 135. Now, triple digits, I think every kid.
Who hasn't wanted to see 100 on
You want to see it, say it, you hit it,
then
you hit
you
the
let
number,
go,
and then
you slow way down.
You dial it back a little bit, but you hit it, right? You hit your number, and then you're done. 135? I don't even know if my truck could go 135 if I wanted to make it go 135.
Dude,
I've always thought about that with the speed thing on your car.
How much you can really
Why
get
does
to
it go all the way to 140?
Because I think it can go 130.
I mean, I know, but what's the need to drive 130? Let's put restrictor plates on these things, man. It's a problem here.
You want restrictor plates?
We clearly have an issue in Athens, Georgia. There's no need to drive 130 miles an hour. Give me any reason.
There is no reason.
There is no reason.
I mean, unless you're in a race.
Sure. I ain't racing
but
in
the public,
Tacoma.
The public?
Oh, my old Honda Civic? What, am I getting a drag race in that thing?
So, in 2005, I had a Toyota Tacoma, but a small, lowered version of it, a 92.
Right.
It's still to the day, it's the only car regret of my entire life is giving away that truck. I
not
traded
holding on to that.
Just the dumbest trade of all time.
Yeah.
Anyways, I road tripped down to LA with that car. And if you've ever driven from Portland to Los Angeles, not going 101, just going I-5,
right.
It's one of the worst drives to exist.
It's horrible.
There's nothing. You're driving through Fresno, and there's just crap.
Yes.
There's nothing there.
It's a straight shot. There's no movement.
I had a stretch where it was you could see miles ahead, and there's nobody on the road. And I'm I'm going to open this up. Yeah. Stick shift. I put it in fifth, and I went. And we got to about 104, and my truck started shaking. And I was like, okay, 100. I went 104,
okay,
and
I got it.
We slowed down, went to the right lane.
That shaking feeling is so uncomfortable.
Your car is stop, I can't do it anymore.
Because the only car you could do it with back in the day when you actually want to go 100 miles an hour is usually some piece of junk that you were handed down or you bought. It's not something that's built for speed, right? I don't have my
it's built for comfort,
my
not
1998
speed.
Honda Civic that I was driving in high school. I don't know if it was built to go 100 miles an hour, and it felt like the doors were going to fall off when we did it. This car was not built for doing this at all. I saw that yesterday with Nolan Smith doing that, and of course he's back in Georgia. And I just dude, what is the legal ramification for going 135?
Well, he got you go. I've
you
always
get legitimately
heard if you go
arrested,
100 miles
right?
an hour and get caught. I've heard you get arrested.
That should not be we're pulling you over.
No, he's got a mugshot. It's out there.
Okay, the mugshot is there. He got taken in. I just saw the headline. Yes. I didn't read the details on what the law enforcement was doing with him.
Speeding and reckless driving. He got arrested, Nolan Smith Jr., in Twiggs County, Georgia.
Down there in Twiggs County.
And he was going 135 and a 70 at 10:41. It's one thing to do it even in the day.
Yes.
Dude, imagine just a deer. It's just I'm going to cross the road right now.
Hell no, you ain't crossing that road.
The deer's all over the place. What are you doing?
At least you got dinner with you. Take a leg on your way home.
I don't know what that is, man, but there is something odd weird about that university specifically and their players it's we get into cars, we don't know how to act.
How is it possible? How?
I don't know.
How have you not gotten a message through? How is somebody in that locker room? Have you not been I did also have the need for speed, but because so many of my other teammates already got in trouble, I'm going to curtail my need for speed. I'm just going to keep it within the bounds. How about we go 75 and a 65? How about we roll that one out there? Is that possible?
I'm going to put a poll question.
This was a 70-mile-an-hour, by the way, zone, too, that he got pulled over in. So it was a 70-mile-an-hour zone, which
65 over. Dude.
All highways should be 70, not 55 or 65. Let's bump that speed up a little bit so we don't get speeding tickets. It's already higher than most of our highways to begin with.
Poll question up early in the 6 a.m. hour. Have you ever driven 120 miles per hour or higher on a freeway?
Ooh, that's a good one. Right out of the gate, I like that.
I'll tell you this.
Maybe 101's the most I ever clocked, and that was it. I'm done.
There is.
I also want to know where they're driving 120 plus. If you're driving 120 plus here,
there's stretches on I-5, dude. I will take you to areas of I-5 where nobody.
When you get down through Southern Oregon and into Northern California.
Yep. Okay, I understand that. Even or Idaho and Utah where the speed limit's up to 90. That's where I've scraped the triple digits.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to picture that here, and that's just like
going down 26,
imagine
miles an hour.
84 going 120.
Yeah. I don't want to imagine that.
The corridor stretch of I-5.
I don't think you're going to survive it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Let's not put our lives in jeopardy this morning.
You ever been in a car? I don't know if you guys have experienced this. I've had multiple people and times in my life where I look back now and I just thank whoever is out there running the simulation we live in.
Too many times to count.
That I'm the passenger and the person going and driving irresponsibly, and I'm
I'm lucky.
I also was a bit of a bee in the moment of dude, stop, slow down, slow down. You ever been that person? I've been that person twice.
Yeah.
First time I was in a car, a kid I went to high school with, he got a Camaro.
Like a new Camaro?
No, an old school.
Picked up an old school Camaro?
Badass Camaro.
That's pretty cool.
That was his car, and we would go off campus to get lunch, and I'll never forget it. It was over by Rocky Butte. We somehow ended up over there. I don't know how.
Or at lunchtime. We're not making fifth period today.
But if you've ever been over there, there's it's a little hilly, and we're in the neighborhood residential area, and he's going 60 blind down a hill, and it's like a 25 zone.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood, dude.
And it's a Camaro, so there's a little oomph to that car, and I'm just
yo! Dude, let's not do this.
And then in college, I had a kid that, he was really into the Fast and Furious, and his Honda Civic.
Did he have a spoiler?
He would want, let's go to Eugene, go to the mall. And I'd be like, okay. Why? So we go to Eugene, we go to I don't know, it was
the Eugene Mall.
Corvallis was tiny, dude. There was nothing.
I get it.
So I'd be like, okay. So we get on there. Oh, man. Let me show you how Vin Diesel I am. Okay. That 110. Slow down.
I'm uncomfortable right now.
And I just in the back seat, I'm definitely dying if this hits anything. It's over.
You know what I think they say? I think your frontal cortex of your brain, if that's the correct phrasing of it, at 6:12 in the morning. I think it grew and processed earlier than other people. That you understood consequences to your actions,
man.
Because that's a sign of maturity to be no. Like when I was in high school, I was mainly the guy that's whatever, dude. You don't think about it, and then you look back and days later, and you're like, thank God, nothing happened there. God, I was an absolute idiot. It's one of those if the people responsible for you knew what you were actually doing when you were out and about, they'd be terrified and mortified of your activity and your actions on the weekend. And then the older you get, you're like, why would I do that? Why would I put my life and other people's life at risk just to feel the need for speed? I'm okay, man. Why don't you quiet your muffler down? Let's go 75. Yeah. Everybody get to point A to point B, safe and alive, and then we'll move on with our days.
Dude, there's nothing funnier than me thinking about I'm now the guy that's well, let's put our life jackets on before we get in this boat.
Right. You got a little yellow guy that you keep in your garage that you put out in your in the middle of the street when your kids are playing. Hey, kids playing around here.
I've seen a couple cars, but I have not become that guy.
Yeah.
I don't have the yellow man.
You don't have
with
the yellow man for the street.
Slow down, there are kids playing in this neighborhood. I've had the thought, but I'm always telling my kids, just stay out of the road. There's too many stupid trucks and cars.
Yeah.
Just because we live kind of the front end, so they bomb down. I always love the people in a residential neighborhood. They turn into a neighborhood. The beginning of that neighborhood stands no chance to your speed.
No.
We're going 55. I've come down the hill. I'm in your neighborhood.
I just turned off of a highway.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, now I'm near my house. Now I'm going to drive accordingly. It's thank you. Thank you for thinking of all of us in this process.
My nearby neighbors will see that I'm only going 17 miles an hour. Needless to they know that about 4 blocks ago, I was going 48 through this neighborhood.
I feel like there is a checkbox to get into the University of Georgia as a football player. Do you know how to drive a car? No. How fast do you want to go? Fastest I can.
It's super fast.
Will you promise to get a ticket at some point being a Bulldog? Hell yeah.
It's about our culture, man.
Those are the 3 check boxes Kirby Smart and the Georgia football program need you to check.
Every time you're on a recruiting visit, they just ask you one simple question. Do you have a need? A need for speed.
I mean, just nuts.
135.
What would this? I'm asking.
I'd pee
sincerely.
my pants if I was in a car and somebody started driving 135. I'd probably pee my pants.
Well, I've always wanted
Depends
to go
on the kind of car.
If I was in a NASCAR on a track,
that's totally different.
That's a much different situation.
You're supposed to go that fast.
Yes.
Like if you do one of those, hey, there's a NASCAR race coming to Portland. You want the disc jockey to come jump in the car and you sit alongside the driver. Totally different.
Even then, 130 for those cars.
I'm still feeling uncomfortable.
They're not always going 130. No. A lot of people don't don't realize sometimes they're going like 110.
Yeah.
120.
Nolan Smith's winning a NASCAR race.
Blowing past NASCAR races.
This guy in Daytona, man. Was it a straight shot? Was he making turns?
Well, so we talked about, and I think rightfully so, made fun of your institution for suing for $10,000.
Yes,
okay?
we're being a little petty. Over a kid transferring. Give us our $10,000. Hey, don't forget, plus interest.
We need that $2,500 interest.
What's the interest over the last year?
What is the conversation if this is Oregon? Active players, former players,
constantly
in the headlines for this reason.
I don't know. You would run out of things to say.
I don't even know how there's an excuse you could make.
There's not. And every time Lanning would talk, I'm sure he would have to answer a question on it. I don't know if Kirby's in that spot down in Athens. Like every time he does an interview, is somebody like, dude, why do you continue to have players arrested for speeding and driving too fast, or now former players who are back in town? I feel like if it was here, this would be a big deal, and we wouldn't be talking about it every day, but every time something would happen,
if it kept popping up,
it would dominate the headlines,
yes.
And it would be a topic of like, how are you not getting this under control?
Idiots.
What are you saying to your team? Clearly, it's not going in one ear, out the other.
Absolute idiots. Did we get butt cracked last night on the internet? So we'll get into all the Spurs Thunder dealings. The flopping continues, but they at least won the game, so now we got ourselves a series.
We do.
Did Carter Bryant really use a public restroom, or was that an OKC?
I don't know.
Staffer/fan. I'm very confused. The internet told me yesterday Carter Bryant was taking a piss mid-game in his full uniform.
We actually don't know. We don't know what he was doing. We just see him walking out of the bathroom to wash his hands.
It's pretty evident. He goes to wash his hands.
Okay. Well, it could have been pooping. I'm saying. You don't know if he was peeing or pooping.
Whatever. It looks like it's a urinal, but you're missing
I guess
the whole
touche.
point.
Yeah, I guess touche. It does kind of look like he's coming from the urinal
Did he use a public
side.
restroom in the arena during the game? That's all I want to know. Was this real?
It looks real. The videos I've seen, it's like on loop 8 million times. Some guy's in there filming him walking out. He goes over to the sink to wash his hands.
Yes.
There's an OKC fan. They were wearing their white jerseys last night.
He's in his full uniform.
Full uniform. He's got his his shoes on, so it's not like it's a pregame or this is allegedly in the middle of the game.
He's kind of hurrying.
He's rushing.
He's kind of rushing.
There's a little bit of that, like if the game is actually going on, do we have time to wash our hands?
Yeah, you have to wash your hands.
You have to wash your hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
What, do you want to be a Larry Kristowiak?
I'm just saying, if it's the middle of the third quarter, we're trying to Castle goes down last night with a hand. We're like, dude, we need you. We need you back in the game. That's 30 seconds I don't have right now.
What I love when people have stories of famous people, celebrities, or athletes or coaches that they've experienced in their lives, like off the beaten path ones. Like, it's one thing to tell me, one time I met Jerry Rice, and I'm like, that's cool, man.
That's
Jerry Rice.
cool.
I've always wanted to meet Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
It's another for me to tell you that one time during an Oregon State men's basketball game against Utah, I had to run to the restroom down in the bowels of Gill during halftime, and I was taking a whiz, and who stumbles upon next to me? Larry Kristowiak, the head coach of Utah men's basketball.
What's up, Larry?
Takes a piss, says what's up, walks straight out, didn't wash his hands.
What time in the game are we talking
This
here?
is halftime.
Halftime, okay.
I just kept thinking the whole time, you're going to use your hands. You're going to touch other players in the second half. You didn't wash your hands?
I don't have time to wait.
Larry Kristowiak, not a hand washer after using the urinal.
I don't have time for this nonsense, okay? We're in the middle of getting a Pac-10 dub right now, all right? Get out of my, or Pac-12 dub. Get out of my way, all right? I got a team to coach.
Those are the stories I live for. I love to hear
forever.
the stories.
Who did Cooley tell us the other day? He saw a famous his dad saw a famous quarterback not wash his hands.
Joe Theismann.
Joe Theismann, that's
Joe
who it was.
Theismann, famously not a hand washer. He's also one of these, I'm just going to drop trowel, take a piss, and get out of here.
I'm done. I've got my pee done. I don't need to wash my hands. Do you know who I am? I'm not doing this. And I love that now becomes a story in the family forever. That family will forever know of him as somebody who does not wash his hands after he takes a pee. It's honestly one of the main moments of joy that you get, like covering an Oregon football game in the press box. I don't have it as much with broadcasters anymore, but like back in the day, walking into the urinal at halftime or at the end of the first quarter.
Because it's a shared restroom.
And Brent Musburger's in there taking a piss next to you. Like, what's up, Brent? How we doing? It was the craziest thing. It got one of those pinch yourself moments, man. You are looking live at Brent Musburger taking a leak.
You imagine a thing where a media member's awkwardly staring over as he's pissing because it's Brent Musburger, and he
Brent
just
Musburger
feels you looking, turns over as he's whizzing. You are looking live.
Nobody will ever believe this.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever
The
believe
famous
this story.
Bill Murray story that's not true.
No, it completely
Eat
made
your
up.
fries. Nobody will ever believe.
Maybe the longer I go in this industry, that story will become that. You know what Brent told me when he was taking a leak? You are looking live. I was right there next to him. I am, Brent. I'm looking live at you, buddy.
All right. Well, we'll
Don't
find
go
out.
135 on your way into work today. How about that?
Don't go
Driving in,
135.
let's cap it at 80 today, guys. All right? Keep it under control.
And wash your hands if you're going to the bathroom, all right? Also, wash your ass.
Wash your ass.
Gregory Oden told us that.
He will always remind you of that.
We have a lot to get to today. It's a busy little Thursday morning. Let's start with OKC in San Antonio. We got an even series. We'll start there. Dirt and Sprague 105.1 The Fan.
McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course is always the driest around. Download the Langdon Farms app today to get all the latest news and specials. First on the Fan, the Thunder evened up the Western Conference Finals at a game apiece after beating the Spurs in Game 2, 122-113. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with an MVP-like performance, 30 points, 9 assists. Victor Wembanyama, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks in the loss. Game 3 in San Antonio tomorrow. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Golden Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead en route to a 4-2 road win over the Avalanche in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Over to the W, despite the Fever's Caitlin Clark missing her first game of the season, your Portland Fire fell short to Indiana, 90-73. Bridget Carlton with 16 points for Portland. And in soccer, your Portland Thorns notched a 2-0 home win over Bay FC to retake the top spot in the NWSL. M.A. Vignola and Mally McKenzie both scoring their first goals of the season. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports.
Hey, welcome back in. Dirt and Sprague here. Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan. We got a Magic Hat Thursday. I got some audio for the old Magic Hat today.
Look at you.
One that I think you, I, and every teacher in the world will enjoy.
Somebody said, we're getting, by the way, miles per hours texted in. One person said, I'm doing 55 right now. I'm banning on my way to I-5. First of all,
you're
a
F
bastard.
You. Yeah.
Second, good for you. 55. Take 10 and 2. Okay, keep that thing under control. You got 18 holes ahead of you. Let's not ruin this trip, all right?
Yeah.
Stay responsible.
If Dirt ever gets remarried, he marries like a Lauren Shahadi. I'm going to be like, congrats.
Yeah,
I hate you.
Bitch.
That's that guy driving to Bandon. Congratulations on the golf. We get it.
You just had to put that in. You couldn't just say, I'm going 55 on I-5 right now. You had to throw in that you're going to Bandon, dude.
Life is so awesome.
And it's going to be 80 degrees down there, I'm sure, today. God, you're a bastard.
11 a.m. tee time at Pack Dunes. Get out of here.
I once did 150 going over the Glenn Jackson Bridge. One of the dumbest things ever.
The Glenn Jackson.
Yeah, that's
150 over Glenn Jackson.
No, thank you. Somebody made it to a Blazer game from Central Point in Southern Oregon easily under 3 hours. We had to wait a half hour to tell folks we made it to the game because we got there so quickly. 140 over 101 here in Oregon. Dumb teenager, fast car.
Yeah.
P1 corn dog. I did 137 on the back roads of Iowa.
Oh, the back
Another
roads.
one, 125 over the Glenn Jackson.
Wow.
Somebody said they did 110 on 84 West on the way to prom like an idiot.
84 West is a pretty good stretch, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty... once you get out there far enough...
Well, I guess it'd be 84... They mean 84 East, right?
Wow.
Towards Mount Hood?
Yes, I would assume so.
Not West, because West would be
Unless he's coming from Mount Hood to Portland and he's going west on 84.
Well, yeah.
And then you're doing the same stretch. You're just going in the opposite direction.
Right,
yeah.
That's pretty nuts. Somebody tweeted us, said 123 miles per hour, 97 in Montana using a BMW. Got pulled over at 119. Cop said, that whole no speed limit thing's not really a thing here. The cop then gave him this, and I love this. The cop then said, you could drive to the nearest town and pay this ticket. Or you can just pay me cash. And he said, I gave him $70 cash. I believe that's called a bribe.
I believe that's called illegal.
But as somebody who has gone through Vietnam customs, let me tell you right now.
There's no rules, dude.
You got something dicey in your bag going through Vietnam, let me tell you how to get out of it. Hand them money. They literally won't care.
They don't give a rip.
I watched them yank 3 suitcases in line at customs, and they basically pulled somebody out, and you could tell this was something very serious.
Right.
The guy basically took this person to the side. She then proceeds to dip into the pocket, hand him a wad of cash. He then signals his hand. They're good. Over here. They're good.
Yep.
Because those guys don't make any money.
No,
they work for the government. And so it's like, I'm going to make some real money here letting them get through customs.
I always think about that,
like, through Vietnam.
If you were a cop back in the day in, like, New York in the 1950s, do you think you would have been on the take? You think a mob guy comes up to you and says, "Hey, I need you to look the other way on this"?
I think you could go back as far as like
because
the 80s.
Yeah, I know. You could definitely go more recent than that.
90s. I mean, there was just no. How would you prove any of this?
I know. It's so easy to say that I
now
wouldn't do that.
Now there's cams everywhere.
With your body cameras on everywhere you go.
Tracing things.
Well, we need our cops to act responsibly. What the hell happened to this country? All right, come on, man. Back in the day, though, when there was no way to track it any way, shape, or form, it would have been really hard to say no to that cash.
I like P1 Shane giving us the make and model of the car, the 1990 Nissan long bed pickup with no weight in the back, bald tires trying to cap triple digits.
Bald tires. It is a miracle. This is one of my biggest fears.
We should all be dead.
Yes. Now being a parent, all I'm thinking about is what kind of dumb stuff is this kid going to get into 15 years from now?
I would say
my life is going to be hell.
In many ways, because I hear it a lot as a dad of 2 daughters, right? The dream for every parent, I think going in is usually you hear like the boy and the girl.
Yeah,
right?
you get one of each.
You're going to get the exact opposite of me. You're going to have the 2 boys.
I double dip the chip.
And while your masculinity is super happy about this.
Farts in the house.
We don't pump girls out in this body. You're going to pay the consequences of this.
I think that's what I was saying
I
afterwards.
think there's a part of you tiger fist pumping like, we don't produce girls.
Those are my swimmers. Yeah.
I think you are going to deal with the repercussions of that at a much later date in a way that I will never have
You're
to.
going through it more now. But the later stages will be far more enjoyable for you. Like middle school age girls, I feel like are hell. Middle school and early high school, things are going on. There's moodiness. There's just that's
I wouldn't
and you're
say I'm
dad,
going through hell.
you're not mom.
Yeah, no. Look, there's an element of
hell's too strong of a word, sure, but
what they don't realize as a father in a house of all women. Because my baby's going to turn 10 tomorrow, and I'm about 2 years away from all 3.
Double digits, man.
Cycling.
Yeah.
There's a cycle.
It's called a cycle.
And what they don't realize, or maybe they do and they don't care, or I haven't admitted this to them because it's just not a comfortable topic to talk about in my house, so let me do it on the radio.
That's how we do it publicly.
There is a real sadness of how, like, super backseat I've become in my house.
Yeah, I get it.
Mom knows about all of what they're going through. She's experienced it all.
The ins and outs. She's got it.
Her attitude and mannerisms are maybe a little more suited for what they're experiencing, whereas like jovial little dad, like, that's okay, you're still beautiful. Shut the F up. And like, there's a real sadness of me in the garage. Like,
just kicked out of the house again. All right,
I'm exercising, but I'm not in there like, oh, I'm lifting. I'm like crying. He doesn't love me anymore.
My daughters don't need me.
That's me now exercising. So like, yeah.
But then I feel like there's a full circle. Like I don't know what age it happens with girls, but I definitely feel like there's a full circle moment when it comes back around.
Oh, I think
like,
that
I don't
will
know
be
if that's
case.
college. I don't know if that's after college. But like by the time you hit that age and you get over these hurdles, then you're right back in the forefront. Then dad's the hero again.
You're not wrong, but I still have my like moments of circling back, right? Like I know that maybe when they're like in their young 20s or 30s, if I'm still alive, that's when we like reconnect over in some ways, right?
Right.
But like my oldest is now diving into old television shows. Mm-hmm. Do you know what show we just started?
Oh, what'd you jump into?
Maybe a little more so than mom. Dad more suited for this one. The OC.
Oh, she's watching the OC with you.
We watched episode 1.
She's into it?
I don't know. I can't get the read yet. She's going to watch it.
Okay.
I had forgotten how truly awful some of the acting in that show
Yeah,
is.
it's pretty bad.
I wasn't as aware of it in the moment, and now I'm watching. I'm like, ooh.
Because what years did the OC come out?
Like 02, 03, 04, 05-ish.
Dude, all you're thinking about are the hot girls in the show. I mean, when you're watching it originally when it comes out, you got a lot of hots on the same screen. That's all you're thinking about.
It's a little cringy, the acting in that show. At least in episode 1 it was.
Still 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. Still holds up.
I'm still going to cape up for it.
Still standing.
I'm still telling her, keep watching. It's a good show.
You'll get through it.
I promise.
At least you have those bonding moments occasionally.
Those are my moments, yeah.
Being in the backseat. And hockey. You got the hockey, too. Get yourself a hockey jersey. Let's go.
She wasn't so much into the
You want to watch
Vegas
that one
Golden
last night?
Knight
She's just into the Canadian series?
Maybe she's just a Canadian thing.
That's okay. Starts tonight, Eastern Conference. Our guy, Tommy Two Nichols, is going for an Eastern Conference Finals win.
I don't know if he can afford to win that conference.
No.
We'll have to wait and see.
They're not gonna be able to travel to Montreal.
No.
They're just gonna forfeit the road games.
Well, they've extended out the series because they got to walk.
Yeah.
Tough. Got to hitchhike.
We'll be there in a couple of weeks.
Maybe they need Nolan Smith to pick them up hitchhiking so they can get there in time.
Now we're there quickly. All of a sudden, the series is going to stay on schedule.
Speaking of staying on schedule, how about Oklahoma City, San Antonio?
Hey, hell of a game last night.
You know what's crazy is that ended up being a pretty good basketball game.
Yeah.
San Antonio nearly came back and won it.
They kept flirting with it. They would be like, "Oh, we're back down to 5, back down to 6."
It wasn't like they were down 20.
No.
They kept it pretty comfortably close. And yet, you don't have the same takeaway, even though we got what we needed. We had a split series. We might get a 7-gamer out of this thing.
Very well could. I think we will.
Which is great, but the game 1 win, maybe it's because they were the road team, they're the young baby team, and they got Wemby, but something about Oklahoma City winning versus San Antonio winning, I didn't come in as like...
jacked about it?
Not as jacked about it. I'm still pumped they won because I won a great series, and I thought it was a really good basketball game.
Right.
But yeah, the Wemby takeover alien game felt much different than game 2.
It definitely did, and it's also hard to live up to when you have a game like that in game 1 of the conference finals, no matter what you do or how good or bad the next game is going to be, unless it's a 3 overtime game, it's not going to live up to the standard of game 1. So last night was a good, if last night would have been game 1.
Dude, they cut it within 3 multiple
we would
times
have been like,
in the
dude,
fourth.
that's a great start to the Western Conference Finals. It wasn't a blowout. It was back and forth. It kept you tuned in until the final minute of the game or whatever when they finally pulled the plug. That was a solid basketball game. It just isn't going to hold up to the standard of game 1 because that's one of the best playoff games we've seen in a long time. Feels weird saying this. I think I've reached the conclusion, and I'm not happy about this. I still prefer the meteor between the two options because I'd like to blow them both up and not have one of them win a championship. But I feel like I've reached the conclusion that I'm now rooting for San Antonio. And it makes me feel dirty saying it. I'm not happy about that, but I feel like that's the team I'm going to root for the rest of the series. Primarily because I just like watching. The idea of watching Wemby in an NBA Finals is more exciting to me than watching SGA go for another one. So for that reason, I think I'm rooting for San Antonio.
I think the way that
the uniqueness of him, we've never seen it before.
I think I enjoy just watching them collectively. They lost Dylan Harper last night to a hamstring injury. That's going to be potentially a big deal.
Yeah, what's the update on that? Have they said anything in the aftermath?
All I saw was that he ended up leaving with the hamstring. He came back because they thought he had to shoot free throws to stay in the game.
Right, he walked back out on the floor and then left again.
Let me see what Mitch Johnson said because I admittedly don't watch a lot of the podium stuff.
You're not watching the post-game press conference?
I mean, I come back in the morning and see the audio, but I hadn't seen an update.
Yeah, I didn't know if they knew if it was
he just didn't come back. I'll see if there's a Spurs
now that you
here.
desperately need De'Aaron Fox back for game 3. If you're not going to have Harper. They had who was their little guard that they were playing last night? The little guy. He hit 1 3 in a moment, and I'm like, I've never seen this guy in my life. Little ball point guard running around out there. They haven't had to go this deep in a bench in quite some time.
Oh, McLaughlin,
Is
right?
it McLaughlin?
I think it's McLaughlin.
A little tiny bald guy. Yeah, Jordan McLaughlin, number 0. He knocked out a 3, though. He's 30
He's been in the league for a while.
Yeah, he's 30 years old.
He's kind of a role guy. He's played for Minnesota.
Okay, all right. I didn't recognize him at all.
Let's see.
Harper will undergo an MRI today.
Yeah, so it's kind of undetermined.
And so we'll probably find out later today.
That just sucks. You don't want injuries to impact the series.
Thursday or Friday.
Friday, yeah. It's also one of those weird ones, too. I was thinking, looking at the schedule, they play Friday, Sunday. We're off on Monday. It's just weird. We're going to do a show tomorrow, preview game 3, and then that series is going to have a very different feel, potentially,
very odd
by
feel.
the time the next time we do a show.
No doubt about it. So they tied the series at 1-1. Let's get to the SGA had a weird comment in the postgame. I want to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, he did.
And the uniqueness of something in this series. We'll tell you what that is. Dirt and Sprague, back with more on The Fan. Hey, welcome back in. You know what? I have a special treat for everybody, all involved here. Brandon over there, who's filling in for Schultz, who's filling in for Swag. Dirt over there.
Walked in, I'm like, that doesn't look like Schultz today. What happened?
I'm not going to lie, I walked in, I was like, Schultz is black. What about that?
Am I dreaming right now?
I was like, all right, we got more Brandon.
Am I supposed to be here right now?
Well, it's
Eat
awkward.
your own butt.
I always tell him goodbye when I know I'm not going to see him the next day.
Now you got a double goodbye.
Yeah.
Is there anything worse than that?
I forgot
in
my
social-
keys. Sorry.
Yeah,
Goodbye
sorry.
again. See you
Hey,
later.
I said see you later. Now I'm back. I hate when that happens at a bar or like there's like some group outing and you do the, all right, man, it was great seeing you. Have a good time.
Oh.
And then you say like the official, like our conversation has ended. You're going to walk that way. I'm going to walk this way.
Yeah.
And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, oh. By the way, it's great seeing you again. You take care.
I've had the awkward moments the last couple events or things I've done. Like when we had a client party, I had another instance where I was talking with somebody, and in these moments, we have a conversation. Everything's great. We shake hands. We depart. But like at the client party, we're not departing.
No, you're just
So
moving
it's
to a
like-
different conversation.
We ended up circling back, and I'm like,
Good to see you again, man.
hey, all right.
Good to see you again.
One, I had like a full-on conversation, and they went one way, and I went another, and somehow 10 minutes later, we're in the restroom, and I was like,
Hey, you again.
hey, man.
How's the last 20 minutes of your party been? It's still going good?
Like,
you still having a good time here?
I don't know what to do.
This is
here.
why I'm pro-Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
In every social setting I'm in, I don't say goodbye to people.
What's awkward,
I just leave.
it's like I love meeting like listeners
Yes.
if we're ever out in the wild.
Absolutely.
And it's like I've had really great experiences with it, but like the awkward ones will be if I meet them at my grocery store in the beginning of grocery shopping.
Because then you bump into them again like 3 hours
10 minutes later,
Yeah.
we're on the pasta aisle and we're going the opposite way. And it's like,
linguine, huh? You a big rigatoni guy over there? Huh? That's what kind of sauce you putting on those noodles tonight, huh, buddy?
bow tie noodles, huh? Really?
Looking up at the TV right now, the Multnomah County Fair kicks off, and they just got a guy in a luchador mask putting a noose anchor in a headlock.
I have my luchador mask in my
You
backpack.
put it on. It's Multnomah County Fair.
Can we put it on?
Get into the spirit. What's the matter with you?
I put on
You
luchador
gonna go
mask.
check out the Multnomah County Fair this weekend?
Dude, if we're doing luchador masks on the Multnomah County Fair, I grew up in Multnomah County. I might have to put mine on.
How much does this fair cost? And can we take some of that money to pay for the Moda Center? Is that possible? I don't need a guy in a luchador mask.
No, actually, when you go to the Multnomah County Fair, I heard after you pay the entrance fee, they do a smiling tax. And every time you smile, you got to put $1 in the bucket.
Toss me a nickel.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. 1 penny at a time.
We'll get to what I was going to. I teed up all of this and didn't even
Yes,
pay
you
it off.
did.
I'm doing something at 7. I'm not at 7 a.m. going to yell for 20 minutes about Tom Dundon being cheap.
Why?
Well, I thought we could take a.
Why?
We can get to some of the stuff.
I want to yell about it again.
Some stuff came out yesterday. We could talk a
matter
little
with
bit
you?
about it, but I don't want to do it for 20 minutes.
I'd like to scream about it again today. I've loved doing that every day.
I also think a lot more people are on our viewpoint of this.
I think so,
than
too.
the internet is telling other people.
Yes, which our viewpoint is, let's just wait and see how
Can we
this
just
plays
calm
out.
down and stop yelling every
That's
day?
all that it is.
All it is.
Every headline does not have to be the worst headline ever seen by an owner in professional sports.
But I'm going to get to NFL stuff
Oh.
at 7.
Oh.
I think somebody stepped in a little bit.
Took me with a good time.
Or they're making you feel hopeful. We'll talk about that at the top of the hour. So SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder, they beat the Spurs last night. They tie the series. You may have noticed Isaiah Hartenstein. Stein?
Officially Stein.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
That's what they called him all night on the broadcast last night.
He was playing more last night. He ended up defending Wemby quite a bit. Now, Wemby had a good game, but Wemby didn't have a game 1 game, right? So his pretty good game, it almost is still enough. He had a remarkable play where he missed on the right and just stretched his left out to tip it on the opposite side, and it went in, and I went,
how? What are we doing?
Also, let me ask you as males, are you guys a believer in hand size revealing things or foot size revealing things?
Ooh.
Or do you believe in it at all?
That's a good question. Don't they usually go hand
Is a
in
large
hand, though?
hand
Pun
really
intended?
indicative of a large?
I feel like it is.
What about a foot?
But I haven't seen them all, so I can't answer that.
What about a foot?
I feel like if you have big hands, you have big feet. Does anybody have big hands and little feet?
I kind of do.
Or big feet and little hands?
Well, I don't think I have big feet.
Well, how what size do you wear?
12 and a half?
See, that's pretty normal for your size.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
You're over 6 foot.
Yeah, I'm 11 and a half. I'm 11 and a half, and I'm 6 foot.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I'm like an 11. 10 and a half, 11.
All right.
5'9" was
Just
I
a
tell
foot
you.
bigger than you. No big deal.
I mean, you're taller than me. You should have bigger feet.
Well, all right. Well, I
also got bigger hands than you.
Well,
you want to check out my hands? You want to go hand in hand? To answer your question, yes, I do think it does.
Oh, you do? How coincidental is that? I just asked because his hand on that tip, they showed it in slow-mo.
I mean, it's insanity, dude.
The fingers are, by themselves, the fingers are 9 inches
Did you
long.
see the
I
dark-
can't imagine what the top of the finger to the bottom of the hand is.
Yeah.
It's insane. But it was a remarkable play.
Did you see the Dark Knight Rises story about him yesterday? Did you read any of that? Like,
was it the Shaolin monk story?
His parents sending him to like train with monks, and he was like dribbling a basketball up the side of a mountain.
Yes.
Like, dude, that's
for
the
like
Dark
3.5
Knight Rises.
miles.
It's Christian Bale right now.
That was his summer.
Liam Neeson's up there somewhere. He's going to get left in that burning building.
He is
not so fast, my friend.
He's such a fascinating
Yes,
thing
he
to
is.
watch, and then like you read his story. Like he's been training to be an NBA player since he was 12.
I mean, how tall was he when he was 12?
I think he was like 6'4".
Yeah, like
they were like, dude, you might be pretty tall.
if you're 6'4" when you're 12, I'm pulling you out of school.
He might have been taller than that at 12. I might be shortchanging.
If Teddy Ballgame is 6'4" when he's 12, there's zero chance that happens. We're dropping out of school.
Oh, you're going to the IMG Academy.
We're dribbling basketballs every day.
You're going to Bishop Gorman.
This is all we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not here to study. I'm here to dribble.
You having like a 6'7" kid
would be wild.
Would
dude.
be the funniest thing.
Be
You would
very
look like
emasculating.
DeVito next to Schwarzenegger.
I would, yeah.
Twins.
On the one side, I'd be happy about it, but there'd be 5% of me in the back of my mind like, this is bogus, dude.
5. You'd be the Cooper Manning of your family.
I totally would.
You would hate it. You've already admitted on air you think the lesser brother of a family.
Oh, he hates the other brothers.
So definitely you would have that as the father.
Cooper hates Peyton and Eli. There's no way he doesn't.
Yeah, Cooper's kind of having a moment, though.
Did you see
with
his,
Arch and the kids?
He had a funny Instagram post the other day about him. He's in the trunk of the car.
Because he was with Arch's teammates.
He was driving Texas teammates around. In
yeah,
his
I think
convertible.
Cooper's having a moment now.
I mean, he's doing fine now, but that wasn't easy 15 years ago.
Also, he's going to have the first kid drafted in the NFL of all the brothers.
Might be the number 1 overall pick next year.
Suck it, Eli and Peyton. Yeah. Although Peyton's kid looks like a stud.
Does Eli has kids, right?
Yeah, he's got younger kids, I think. So here is SGA. Hartenstein defends Wemby. Wemby has a little bit lesser of a game, and they ask SGA about the impact of his defense on Wemby.
You all made a pivot defensively hard on Wemby. What kind of impact did Isaiah have tonight?
I'm not sure if it was good, to be honest. Yeah.
Break that down for me.
Say again?
Break that down for me. Why was his impact not good?
It was all right. It was good. It was good.
Let me back out of that comment.
What was that?
How quickly?
Stupid, or are you stupid?
How quickly in the locker room did he run up to him and go, hey, man, I said this. You're going to see it. I kind of meant more like us as a team, not so much you, but it comes off as you. You know you're my boy. And he's going to go, you're the MVP. You're right. I believe you.
You say whatever you want, man. It'll be all right. That was really weird, though. Really weird.
Really bizarre.
Because one of the takeaways I had watching the game, now I'm not the biggest ball knower on the planet, I totally acknowledge that, was like, dude, he's actually kind of holding his own.
He's at least doing fine.
Like, he's at least a bigger body that can restrict
he was
Wemby's
pushing
movement.
Wemby
like,
a little bit more.
He's getting more
yeah.
physical with
Yes.
him. Like, Wemby just dominates Chet. Chet is unplayable almost.
Well, they don't
in
even
the series.
put Chet on him.
No,
they
because
put
there's no
Caruso
point to
on him
yeah.
and Jalen Williams on him.
Right, because they have a better chance of stopping him. And so I thought Hartenstein had a really good game. Some of those little shot-put shots that he was putting up, like, he had a nice impact. And then to see the star of the team afterwards and be like, nah, he didn't do anything. What?
So good.
I thought it was pretty good, Shay.
Swag comes back. How did Brandon do? Not good, to be honest with you.
What do you mean by that?
Well, actually, he did pretty good.
He did pretty good.
He did pretty good.
He did pretty good.
How's dirt as a coast?
Yeah.
Not very good, to be honest with you.
Can't stand the guy.
Wait, I mean, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Can you give me a little more in-depth
I
on
like
that?
hosting a show with him.
He's a great guy. Love working with him.
Loaded second hour. Kick it off with some NFL stuff. We'll have a local story to get to in the second hour. Magic Hat Thursday. Dirt and Sprague back with more on The Fan.
a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Thunder evened up the Western Conference Finals at a game apiece after beating the Spurs in Game 2, 122-113. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with an MVP-like performance, 30 points, 9 assists. Victor Wembanyama, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks in the loss. Game 3 in San Antonio tomorrow. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Golden Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead en route to a 4-2 road win over the Avalanche in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Over to the W, no Caitlin Clark for the Fever, yet the Portland Fire still fell short to Indiana 90-73. And in soccer, your Portland Thorns notched a 2-0 home win over Bay FC to retake the top spot in the NWSL. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports Network.
Number 2, Jordan Sprague here on Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 The Fan, and what we like to call the Fan Sports Network. Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope your hump day was all right. Your Thursday morning commute's going okay. Slow down out there.
Everybody take it easy.
I want to pull a Nolan Smith Jr. and go 135 and a 70. That'd be terrifying.
Not ideal.
I want to remind you guys to kick off the second hour here to join us on June 23rd. Toyota presents the Fan Golf Classic out at Langdon Farms. We'll be hanging out at the infamous Angels Envy Bourbon Par 3 6th hole. We'll all be eating Matt's barbecue. You can head to 1051thefan.com and click on the Fan Golf Classic logo for info to sign up today. There's only a couple rounds left in the morning, and that's it, man. It's almost closed up. The Fan Golf Classic presented by Toyota is also brought to you by Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson & Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Maestro Dobel Tequila, your neighborhood restaurant group, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, Illegal Mezcal, Pub Beer by 10 Barrel, and Window Nation.
That's good right there.
We'll talk a little local stuff coming up here at the bottom of the hour.
What's going on locally?
Well,
Old Tommy Two Nickels in the news again?
I'm just going to point
This is outrageous!
Well, I just want to point one thing out. I don't want to yell, and I don't even think people are really yelling.
No, I don't think we are.
I mean, I know some people are yelling.
We have not yelled about it.
I think we've yelled in the opposite way of just can we just calm down?
I've raised my voice maybe a time or two. My octave has changed slightly from a 7 to a 9, but I have not yelled. There's been no yelling.
So I want to kick off the second hour not talking Tom Dundon and Tommy Two Nickels.
Okay.
I want to kick off the second hour with NFL chatter.
Ooh, little NFL chatter.
Well, there's some stuff going on in the National Football League.
Can I give you a stat? Can I give you a fact?
Oh.
Throw a number at you right now. Now it's not NFL related.
Days?
Yeah, it's not NFL related, although we can do the math in our head NFL related.
Okay.
But today is 100 days from the start of college football.
How about that?
100 days from now.
That makes me feel so good.
We are kicking off the college football season.
We had a coworker that was like, look, I understand the Blazers have been in the headlines, and the NBA playoffs are happening. That's a thing. There's been some good stuff, but
they are taking place currently.
I need football in the worst way. And I go, hey, we're jonesing for it too.
Right there with you, brother.
We've done a pretty consistent job, I would say, of having college football.
We've corkscrewed a lot of football into the show.
I have a college football segment to get to today.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Somebody said the quiet part out loud, and they're done being nice about it, and it's something that I said might happen a few years ago when USC and UCLA left the Pac-12.
I know what you're talking about.
And there is an AD that's like, I've had enough of this.
You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. So stop pretending that it's going to happen.
I hope it happens.
You hope it happens. I hope it does.
I hope they're forced to make it happen just so they can walk it back and say, we're sorry, we didn't want this to happen.
Come back to the table.
Let's kick off with the NFL. as they have the OTA camps going on. We got the Rodgers news. We'll talk about that in a minute. How about one quarterback that has not really been at the forefront of relevancy in the National Football League in terms of his team being a true contender? Joe Burrow.
Smoking that Joe Burrow.
Once national champion quarterback.
Yes.
Been to a Super Bowl himself. Been to another AFC title game. The Bengals have kind of stepped in it the last 2 seasons. Not quite been what we thought or hoped Joe Burrow and the Bengals would be. When we talk about the premier quarterbacks of that sport, we name Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar. And unfortunately, one of those guys has not really been in the conversation much. And that's because his team hasn't been very good. And so Cincinnati's living in this world of, I think a lot of us out there are guessing and throwing that if they don't do this and this, he's going to demand a trade.
Right.
Even though guys like him don't largely do that.
The irony of it is the only guy we've ever really seen do it at the highest level is the former quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the same franchise. It was Carson Palmer. Now, Burrow is significantly better than Carson Palmer, but he was an established guy. They had been to the playoffs, and he was like, dude, I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm not playing here anymore. And eventually forced his way to go to Oakland.
Well, I don't know how you would grade the offseason for the Bengals. They added some edge rusher in Boy Mafe. They added a DT in Dexter Lawrence.
They did stuff that they usually don't do. Usually they're trading their guys away and paying rookies, and instead they brought in big contracts on at least one of their defensive linemen.
They got some rookie guys coming in that we don't know about yet, and then of course we know what they can be offensively with their targets in Burrow. Here is Joe Burrow yesterday at Bengals camp talking about how he views his team and their offseason.
I just think we know where we needed to be better. And we went out and aggressively made it happen. We filled some holes that we had from years past. Got better at a lot of positions. Signed the best free agent safety. Got the best D tackle in the league, in my opinion. So we have everything we need in that locker room. We just got to go and make it happen. Number one thing is you have to win, and we're going to go win a lot of games this year and play great and win a Super Bowl. And I think this is the most talented roster that we've had since I've been here.
Bold claim there, Joe.
Bold
claim, Joey B.
Look, I love Joey B. And I'm not even mad that he's saying all of this stuff out loud. If I was a host in Cincinnati, I'd be eating this up all day.
Yeah.
It is quite a statement, though, that people write down and go,
okay,
most talented roster you've ever had. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Like, that stuff, winning the Super Bowl, everybody can say that. I don't really care about that. I know that's kind of more the big narrative for some is Joe Burrow says they're going to win the Super Bowl. It's like, every player going into the season thinks they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I hope my quarterback thinks my team's going to win the Super Bowl.
Imagine if we would have said out loud, Sam Darnold says he's going to win the Super Bowl this year. Right. We're like, yeah, right.
I want Dante Moore to go into next season saying, no, we're not going to win a national championship. We're just here to have fun, man.
Would you rather him
It's
not
about the
say,
relationships that last a lifetime. That's what matters the most.
What would you rather him say?
We're going to win a national championship.
You like that then, huh?
Yes, I want my team to think that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Look back and make fun of them if they don't win it? I don't care about that. I'm already in pain for not winning a national championship. It doesn't hurt me anymore.
You can't hurt me any more than I've already been hurt.
I got scars all over the place, man. It does nothing to me.
Well, to me, it's more about the other comment so much than win the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, if he gets to the playoffs, that guy absolutely believes he can will his team as the quarterback to get to the Super Bowl and potentially win it. It's more so it's the most talented roster I've ever had here when he's been to 2 AFC title games and a Super Bowl.
Year 2 and year 3 of his career, and he was outstanding in both those years, and the team was solid. And without a late hit out of bounds, maybe they go to back-to-back Super Bowls. Like, that was a AFC title game against Kansas City that could have gone either way. The tough part with the Bengals is not only have they had some bad roster decisions and they haven't been aggressive in ways that they needed to be, and maybe these two issues go hand in hand, I feel like that gets blamed a lot on their shortcomings, and we certainly all know how talented Joe Burrow is when he's available. What's been a theme of 2 of their last 3 seasons?
Their defense being terrible.
And Joe Burrow's not available.
Yeah.
So again, maybe the roster and the buildup of the offensive line goes hand in hand with that. He played 8 games last year. 2 years before that, he played 10 games. They missed the playoffs both years. And so the year in between there, when he plays at an MVP level and is arguably the best quarterback in the league, that was all on the organization. He was out there. He was healthy. He lit up defenses start to finish. Again, probably should have won the MVP. He was not the reason that they didn't win. He's got to stay healthy. And it's just unique because I feel like some guys some guys would carry this label a little bit stronger than Joe Burrow would, and maybe I'm just not swimming in Bengals circles right now.
Yeah.
But, like, if this was Lamar, it is Lamar. Like, we say this about him every year.
Well, he's coming in with
pressure. He's got to stay healthy. He's got
Yep.
pressure, guys. He's going to be available. Is he going to stay healthy? Do you want him running so much?
He can't play well in the playoffs.
Dude, last year Joe Burrow played 8 games. 2 years before that, he played 10.
Yep.
That's missing over half. Well,
what was his second year? He played 10 in the first year, right?
His rookie season, he played 10. He got hurt in the back end of the year. Then he had 2 straight years of being healthy. They went to the Super Bowl in the AFC title game. Then he got hurt, missed the playoffs. Then he played the full season and was great, but everything else around him sucked. And they missed the playoffs.
Yep.
And last year he played 8 games. So he's got to be available. The roster could be better, and I actually take his word for it. I think Cincinnati's had a decent offseason. I love the Lawrence pickup. I love being aggressive. I think he is the best defensive tackle in the NFL, and he'll help them in an area where they desperately need help.
Yeah, I like the Lawrence pickup.
The weapons aren't an issue for them. He's like, that's the other component of this. And it's not his fault that he's getting hurt, but he's got to be available for them if they want to be the team that they think they can be.
You know, how do you – I guess I'm kind of curious about this in thinking about that comment, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a very interesting thing for a guy like Joe Burrow to say. Not that Joe Burrow hasn't been brash and cocky and kind of confident in his abilities. And
kind of what he's known for in his career, to be honest with you.
I mean, smoking a cigar on a couch, the leg up and your jersey on kind of tells me all I need to know. I know how you operate. That being said, I was thinking yesterday after I saw this, so the 4 we name every time, the default position of Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Lamar.
Yeah, which also, as you point out correctly so, it's 5. The fact that Stafford's not in there is ridiculous.
You're right. No.
He just won the MVP.
My apologies. You're right.
But we just do that. We always kind of go back to the 4 and forget about the guy who just won the MVP.
Yeah, you're right. I pointed that out. I already forgot what I pointed out. You're right. There's 5.
We got a core 5. That's what we got. Core 5.
If you have a core 5 and then however you want to organize the next however many you think that is, if
the
there's
next
a
group.
3rd tier, 2nd tier, whatever. I don't care. If you took those 5, Stafford right now, to me, far and away the best chance of winning the Super Bowl of all the 5.
Yeah, I mean, based on how close they were in the offseason that they had, it's hard to disagree with that.
I have an unknown in Baltimore at coach. Not that he won't be Mike McDonald-esque, but I don't know that yet. I need information.
Not a guarantee.
Buffalo is in a weird spot of like, maybe Joe Brady is going to be the difference for them, and maybe this is the year that the 4th and inches, he picks up the first down, and he finally does it. But Buffalo's been nothing but heartbreak as a sports city.
Is Allen going to turn the ball over the way he did in the playoffs again against the Broncos?
The other point, Cincinnati has had multiple seasons now, as we pointed out, of like, and then Kansas City's in a weird spot of like, is Mahomes ready week 1? If he is, okay, but like, what is the revamped defense going to be now that we know they've moved on and they've gone young in some spots? I'm kind of curious now, how we look at the quarterback position. We know what the value of it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But of those 5, you kind of look around the NFL, and last year it was Darnold, Bo Nix, Drake May
out of nowhere in the
right?
AFC
Like
title game.
You kind of look around, and it's not that we don't know that depth and having a stellar defense isn't important. It's more like how fascinating the attention is on the 5 versus what the league can tend to show you of, those 5 are really great, but here's the story of your season. This guy, and that guy, which aren't part of the 5.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because a lot of these other guys have been mainstays in the postseason for the majority. Like Stafford has been in every year he's been in L.A. Mahomes last year was the first year that he missed the playoffs. Allen has not been able to get over the hump, but they've been in the playoffs every year and gone on runs every year. And I believe last year was the first year that Lamar missed the playoffs. Am I wrong on that? But
I think you're right on that.
I think last year was the first year that he didn't make it, and he was hurt, and that was a big part of it. Like, we're going on 3 years in a row now. We haven't seen Joe Burrow in the time when Joe Burrow usually shines. Like, what Joe Burrow is known for is being clutch and coming up big in the big moments, and he did it early in his career. He did it when he was in college at LSU, although that was probably the most talented college football team we've ever seen. Like, that's kind of what he was known for. We're going on 3 years in a row where we haven't even seen him in the postseason.
The only year that I had forgotten about this momentarily, but you said this, so I looked it up, that 5-12 year for the Rams, where McVay coincidentally...
He almost retired, and Stafford got hurt. He had the back issue. Yeah. I'm just saying, when Stafford's played, they've been in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part.
His only year in L.A. was, I think he had 2,000 yards that season, and then he got hurt.
Yes.
And they ended up being 5-12 that season.
And started Baker Mayfield on 3 days rest and landed on the plane. You're starting this weekend, buddy, and McVay almost thought about retiring.
Well, but, like, do you look at those 5? Like, I know you do with Stafford. I think everybody has to, right? Unless there's some massive injuries that happen for the Rams.
I mean, they were 4th down away from beating the Seahawks in the NFC title game, and if
5
they
yards.
get that, they're
5
winning
yards away.
They're blowing out the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I tend to agree.
Similar to what Seattle did. They were the two best teams
Yes.
in the NFL last year.
I agree with that. So if I gave you Stafford and said, well, I know you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Of the other four, where are you at? And when you compare them to how the teams...
With the best chance to win, like with what's around them, you
I'm
mean?
just looking around the league and saying, like, oh, there's that situation there. Vrabel's been caught up in the drama, but they were in the Super Bowl last year. I know how you feel about the Patriots, but just looking at it, is it going to be, we're going to be back to those other four, or are we going to continue to look at the NFL and say, boy, it's fascinating to find... The Seattle Seahawks just won the Super Bowl on the $100 million contract. Mm-hmm. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won their division and been in the conversation of like a good team, $100 million contract. And I'm not saying you don't pay guys. I'm more just curious your thoughts on, is the league going to continue to show us outside of those four, it's great to have one of those guys, there's no doubt, but there's all these other teams sitting there right there that take them out.
I think that will always be the story of the NFL, and that's why we love the sport so much, is there's different ways to skin the cat. You don't have to necessarily have that. Now, it helps. I'd rather have them than not have them, but Seattle showed us last year, and other teams have in the last handful of years, like there are other ways to do this. You know how I feel about Jalen Hurts. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I think if Jalen Hurts has a bad year this year, Philadelphia will seriously look in the mirror and say, is this a guy that we want to continue to build around? And he's certainly played well in big moments for them. But let's also not sit here and pretend as if Jalen Hurts is in the same conversation as these guys that we're talking about right now. It just isn't the case, and they just won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they've been to two of them. So the idea that you have to have one of these guys to win, that's the beauty of the league.
Like Chicago's sitting there, right?
Yes,
maybe
and I think that's
Green
the other...
Bay going to finally break through and not choke in the playoffs.
Like we have this in the NBA, and this is the demoralizing feeling even today as a Blazer fan, despite maybe progress that some people would see. There's the feeling of like, can you win without a guy, like one of the guys? We don't have an SGA, we don't have a Wembanyama, we don't have somebody to that level.
I thought we had him.
Can you win a championship without one of them? Right, him is him. In the NFL, they've shown you a million times over that at quarterback you can find a way to do it, whether you win a Super Bowl or just are good in the playoffs. So I think it's interesting to see, is there another guy from that collection? Because right now, of the core five that we would name, only two of them have rings. The other three haven't won one. Burrow hasn't won one, Lamar hasn't won one, and Allen hasn't won one. And Burrow's the only one who's even been to a Super Bowl. There's only one combined Super Bowl between the other three guys.
Yeah.
Now, they're all in the AFC, so they're beating each other up, playing each other in the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's an interesting question to me.
That's the fascinating thing.
Which one is the next one of the bunch to break through and win one? And then also I go to the original point that you brought up outside of those five. Is there another guy that can enter into the conversation? Is Stafford going to retire and then we have a new fifth? Or if Stafford continues to play, maybe another year, does it become a core six because of the way somebody plays? Because I think there's a long list of guys.
Caleb
Drake, Bo, Herbert, you could, Dak Prescott even for as good as he's been.
Maybe Jordan Love.
Yeah. Like, who is the next guy? Can any of them put themselves in that conversation? Because to this point, none of them have.
I think the fascinating thing on that, too, is when you... Like, I look at, like, Kyler Murray, right? I'm not a big Kyler guy, but when we talk about this topic, given what I've seen in the NFL, I can't completely dismiss the idea of something. Even if I'm of the opinion, Kyler Murray going to Minnesota where they won 9 games with a bad quarterback, if he's just serviceable or close to what he was year one with Cliff Kingsbury, that team could win 12 games.
Right.
And I'm not going to bat an eye at that.
No.
And I'm going to have to reconsider, like, do I think Kyler Murray can win the Super Bowl? Maybe I would. 4 of those 5, same conference.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's crazy is like...
It's the Western Conference in the NBA with Wemby and SGA and Edwards and all the guys.
Right. And then you got Stafford and the Knicks on the other side. And like, maybe the Celtics will be back next year. Like, I don't know. They lost in round 1. But that's the fascinating thing is those 4 are going to have to take each other out. And Stafford of the 5 is the lone, like, I got Darnold, Purdy...
Right.
Baker.
They're good.
Dak.
Yeah, they're good quarterbacks.
Goff.
You're right.
Caleb.
They're all good.
These guys are good. But there ain't those other 4 good when they're at their top peak, right?
It's not Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Joe Burrow.
Coincidentally, do you know why Jalen Hurts is an Eagle? I just read this story yesterday or the day before. There's a really good write-up of owners meddling, which is actually what I wanted to talk about in the next segment.
Oh, okay.
Basically, like, is the track record, now it's an NFL-based thing, but I kind of want to apply it locally to our team. Is the track record of an owner meddling good or bad? What's the actual result and fallout of it? And they go through a laundry list of owners that have either been given a chance to actually make a pick or they're pretty aggressively involved with the process of draft.
Yeah, who we want to go get.
Do you know why the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts?
I don't know the backstory.
Fascinating. He had a lot of success at Oklahoma his last year, right? We know what he kind of was, reputation was at Bama.
Yeah.
The reason Jeffrey Lurie and the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts was because Jeffrey Lurie is always thinking about the future. Some people have noted that like he kind of has a hard time sitting in the present. He's always like, what are we in 2 years? What are we in
next?
3 years?
Yeah.
Like that's how his thinking is. And years ago, he wanted to draft a quarterback while they had Carson Wentz. Do you know who that quarterback was?
No idea.
Or no, who was it? I think maybe I have my timeline. I got to think about the years here. So it was basically he was thinking about the future while they had a quarterback.
Okay.
And the quarterback he wanted to draft, Russell Wilson. And he missed it. He got picked by the Seahawks, obviously.
And as a third-round pick.
And Lurie kicked himself because he goes, damn it, I wanted him.
Right.
So even when he had Wentz,
it would have
that's
been
what it
Wentz.
was. He had Wentz.
He decided, I don't care.
He was like, I can't sit back and just rest on this.
Yeah.
And he told them, it's like, we're taking Jalen Hurts. He's a good player. We've scouted him.
They helped
He's
him
a
win a
winner.
Super Bowl, man.
We're going Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, worked out well for him.
It's an interesting thing to think
about. It's the
about.
beauty of sports, man. There's always one eye on what's happening right now and one eye on what does the bigger picture look like. And they can exist at the same time, and they should both be reviewed and analyzed similarly.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. So Joe Burrow says they're going back to the playoffs, best roster he's ever had in Cincinnati. We roll on hour number 2. Do you like a meddling owner or an owner that's pretty involved? And kind of tying back to a local story here. We'll get to that coming up next on 105.1 The Fan.
A Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Thunder evened up the Western Conference Finals at a game apiece after beating the Spurs in Game 2, 122-113. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with an MVP-like performance, 30 points, 9 assists. Victor Wembanyama, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks in the loss. Game 3 in San Antonio tomorrow. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Golden Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead en route to a 4-2 road win over the Avalanche in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. They have a 1-0 series lead. Over to the W, despite the Fever's Caitlin Clark missing her first game of the season, your Portland Fire fell short to Indiana 90-73. Bridget Carlton with 16 points for Portland. And in soccer, your Portland Thorns notched a 2-0 home win over Bay FC to retake the top spot in the NWSL. M.A. Vignola and Mally McKenzie both scoring their first goals of the season. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports Network.
I wish you would step back from that ledge.
Welcome back in, 7:28 on Portland Sports Leader. You're damn right we are. 105.1 Fan.
One thought that came in, Darnold, text on Darnold, so he's not elite like Mahomes or Jackson. However, the dude is smart. I think he'll continue to take cheap deals so the front office can build around him. Not quite Tom Brady, but relatable. Seahawks are going to be good for a while.
I could see the both sides thing, like where the Seahawks are going to say, we're not giving you $255, and I think he goes, yeah, but the idea that he's going to like stay at $100 million is, because I think they're going to be really good again.
Right.
I think my team's going to suffer from a bad schedule, and they're old. The Rams, I think, are going nowhere.
Right.
I think the Seahawks have a chance to repeat. I don't know if they will, but they got a good chance. You're not winning 2 Super Bowls and then the contract negotiations going, you know what?
I'll take $25
Same
million.
deal as last time. I think you're going, what about 190?
Let's refresh this thing a little bit.
You don't want 255, I'll take 190. We'll call that good.
And to my point on a guy like Jalen Hurts, you know how I feel about Hurts, but what I can't deny about Hurts is he played big in big moments for them. And there's runs. Like he was horrible in their playoff game last year. But in their Super Bowl run and in that game against Kansas City, both times he was really good. Darnold, when they needed him to be nails, was nails. It was the NFC Championship game. They needed him to shred that defense, and he shredded that defense. What did he do in the regular season, though? He led the NFL in turnovers.
Yeah.
And that's just the point about some guys being able to get away with more.
They beat the Rams
because of what is around them.
in Seattle, not because of him.
The offense was booed off the field. He threw a pick. Like it didn't.
Was terrible in that.
But in the NFC title game,
he was great.
We
He
had
was
to win a
phenomenal.
shootout. The defense was getting shredded, and he played well. And that's the benefit of being in a spot like that, where I don't have to carry it week in and week out. Can I come up with some plays when I need to? And if I can, I can win a ring. And that's what happened last year.
Let me just ask you: do you legitimately believe you think Kyler Murray can win the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Because of where he's at?
I can't,
Is it because of the situation?
Because of the situation,
okay.
yes.
All right.
I'm certainly not but I think it's very similar in terms of, I don't think we'll ever look at Kyler Murray as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
No doubt about it.
That will never happen.
Yeah.
But he's with a good coach, a good offensive mind, maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL, a lot of good pieces there. Minnesota damn near made the playoffs with Niner at quarterback last year.
They did?
They finished ahead of the Detroit Lions with J.J. McCarthy as their primary starting quarterback.
So there's a really good read on the NFL. It's not very lengthy, but it's just about a few owners. The Hunt family, Biscotti of the Ravens. We've got Lori in here, and then you've what's the Colts gal?
Oh, what's her name?
There's a couple stories about her.
They're trying to boot her off the sidelines. Did I read that correctly? She's like getting too involved now.
Well, she's
like
just
taking
learning.
it to an extreme level.
She's learning.
Yeah,
is what I would say in that.
Okay.
Is that Carly Ursay?
Carly Ursay, thank you.
Gordon, that's the hyphenated, yeah.
Yeah, anyways, there's a really good read about owners meddling, not meddling, but like being pretty involved in personnel. In 2012, for example, the New York Jets owner Woody Johnson, great track record that Woody Johnson, was the driving force behind the trade for Tim Tebow. Jets gave up a 4th-round pick to the Broncos, wound up using Tebow for 75 plays on offense. In an appearance on CNBC from the Republican National Convention in 2012, he was asked if he'd like to see more Tebow or less Tebow. He said, quote, I think you can never have too much, Tebow. End quote. So, like, we have, and it goes through the history of things. Like, Biscotti actually just made a pick this year in the draft. It was one of their last picks. And the GM they were talking at dinner with the GM, and DaCosta's like, yeah, man, this is a hard decision. These are hard picks to make. It's not easy. And so they were having more of a jokey conversation. Anyways, it's a really interesting thing, and it made me kind of weirdly go from NFL brain to Blazer brain of, there's been so much Dundon thrown in our faces, in our lives right now. And what's abundantly clear, at least to me, and I would imagine almost everybody else, is I'm not saying he's going to be a meddling owner, but he's going to be a very involved owner here, right, in the process of how this team is built.
Significantly more involved than the absentee Jody Allen.
And, well, yeah, absentee in not really understanding who and what is going on outside of being told to write the check.
Right.
I'm just curious how you feel about the idea of the really involved owner and maybe actually meddling a little bit, because it's a really interesting read here on these NFL owners.
Yeah.
But we know we have one because he's kind of this in Carolina, and it feels like he's going to be that here.
It's interesting because that's, we've been spending so much time yelling at each other. We haven't really got to the substance of what he is like when it comes to team building and roster decisions. And at the end of the day, the things that matter the most to me as a fan, right? Like, who are you drafting? Who's in charge of drafting those guys? How much control do you give your GM? Do you have say or sway in some of these calls? And it was ironic because in the Game Over podcast, they talked a lot about that and his strategy. And he's, while he does meddle more than some because we're used to Jody Allen, who we never heard talk once in a decade, I thought it was fascinating to get his insight into how he handles the pre-draft process. He made fun of the combine situation of like, this is dumb, dude. These guys are running around in shorts in a gym. I'm not going to let that dictate whether I draft you or not. And I loved that answer from him of like, if you had an awkward handshake or didn't look me in the eye, are you 6'7" with elite tape over 3 years? I'm still going to take you in the first round. I don't care that you were a little weird or a little off-putting. And then he also talked about the idea of, he's not making picks. He never does. He never will. And he went into the idea of like, I hire people that I trust. We have our scouts. He is there to always push back.
He presses them. Like,
I'm going to press you. I'm like,
so much?
Why are we falling in love with this guy? And you know what I thought the entire time listening to that interview? Would have been nice to have somebody in the building last year being like, are we sure Young Hanson's the right pick here? Are we sure
they still believe he is?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
You know who just made first team All-NBA rookie? A guy we could have taken, Cedric Coward. But no. By all means, right? Let's see how long it takes Young Hanson to make an All-NBA team. So that was the thought I had listening to the interview on his idea of drafting guys, of like having somebody internally push back. Jody Allen didn't know who Young Hanson was. She showed up on draft night. They made a call. She has no clue what's happening.
Paul lived for the draft.
Paul lived for the draft. He meddled a ton.
The most on the draft.
Yes.
And I think we at least have a history or track record of a guy. Meddling might not be the right term for Paul, but really involved. I think he also, in a weird way, much like Dundon, the people he hired, he trusted, right? Like Pritchard making the draft day moves to get L.A. and Roy and
I think
the Odin pick. And then, like, obviously that was a fallout, and so he fires Pritchard. And then he goes through this weird stretch of Rich Buchanan.
And it became the Cho Chop. He was just firing everybody every year.
And then somehow the entire organization was just handed to Neil O'Shea on a platter, and Paul didn't really seem to care enough to make any moves of substantial.
They were a 3 seed and got swept by the 6 seed in the first round of the playoffs.
And they
just didn't fire his GM.
They didn't do anything.
But Rich Cho was here for like a breath, and his breath stank, and they fired him. See you later, Rich. Get your braces out of here.
Chad Buchanan like scouted everything about Damian Lillard. Was like, dude, this is the pick, and he's like, you're fired. We're handing in the former soap opera guy. Like, what?
You get to do the pick.
So like, we had an owner at one point when he was alive.
Yes,
just being involved.
I think there's a balance of the right way to do it. The balance is you need to be involved. There needs to be a sense of urgency. You need to hold people accountable. But also at the end of the day, you have people in charge that you trust and that you have hired that you believe can make the right call. And I think that's where this is the one thing that I will always go back to. Every time we yell and scream about Tom Dundon, I know that they are not apples to apples, but this is how his organization has worked in Carolina. And he talked about it again in the podcast. There were picks that I pushed back on against our scouts, and I said, are we sure this is the guy? One of them probably was a former local player, Seth Jarvis for the Winterhawks, who was an undersized forward coming out, an incredibly skilled player for the WHL level, but whenever you have guys who are undersized, there's that thought of like, will it fully translate? Like, how does that look? He's not a bigger body.
Jump from that to
it's a big jump, and they took him with a top 10 pick in the draft. And I'm sure that was a thought of like, Are we sure this is the guy we want to take? And Seth Jarvis has been outstanding, and he just made the Canadian Olympic team, and he's been great for them for the number of years that he's been there. And so I think having the balance of somebody who is involved with a sense of urgency and holding people accountable and making sure you're asking the right questions, but also allowing the people that you put in charge to ultimately make the calls is the best way to possibly handle that. And based on his track record in Carolina and what he said in interviews, that's the way that he operates as an owner.
It'd be interesting to see. I continue to be fascinated in how this is going to go in the offseason and going forward, but we're still kind of stuck in this yelling at each other and this is terrible. Like, I don't have to agree with everything. And I also I've acknowledged the cheapness. I find myself in a weird defensive spot of I've kind of in a roundabout way been accused of just parroting pro Dundon stuff. Mm-hmm. Whereas we've literally made fun of how cheap he is. And I've said yo, it's a little eye-opening some of this stuff and it could really rear its head. But yeah. I don't have a whole lot to react to in an angry way. And I am finding that in this market, it's becoming a little disingenuous, the Tom Dundon stuff.
Yeah.
I'm finding that
we are memory holding everything that happened before this and acting as if this was day one of the organization and there's never been a controversy before.
Well, yeah. So
as if our head coach wasn't arrested by the FBI or we didn't have a GM drinking a water bottle to shut down questions at a press conference.
We didn't interview a general manager. I will never not acknowledge this. Joe Cronin may be the guy. If Tom Dundon hires a GM and then that guy is basically forced to be fired because he harasses people in the office, and then Tom Dundon doesn't even interview people to replace him.
Just promotes the assistant from within.
I better not see any media member
ask, why aren't we interviewing?
Scream about how inept that is, because the Vulcans literally did that.
Yes, they did.
That was a big deal to me in the moment. I was raising into, why are we not interviewing for the most important job for the franchise? Why are we just handing this to somebody that nobody knows?
Right.
And I got crickets. So yesterday, as an example, it was made aware we're getting more and more names that have been let go. Tina Thompson was let go in the budget cuts, right? I think Heiken pointed out correctly, she's going to get any gig she wants with the new Houston Comet franchise when they relocate. But a PR guy was let go, who was very nice to me in email. I just corresponded with him email. I never met him in person.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. And it was I think it was described as catastrophic, which...
Sure.
Well, no, not sure. I don't know what's catastrophic for an organization. Have you run an NBA organization?
No, I have not.
I've never won. I don't know what the term catastrophic really means for an organization. Can they hire another PR person?
Yes, they can.
Okay, we just lost our social media guy. Are we going to hire a new one?
Yes, we will.
Did we lose that guy and it's catastrophic and we'll never replace him? Right. So I don't know if that's the right term. I also know that guy came in because the last ownership group, the Vulcans, fired a longtime PR guy that was probably making double what the next guy was.
Yeah, he'd been there for over 20 years and they canned him.
Why would you make that move?
Because it's a move to save money.
What?
No.
The Vulcans never cut on money.
No, that's the biggest part.
See, that's my only thing on some of this is call out when you want to call out, but it's becoming a little...
We're reaching capitalizing
here. Now we're just reaching on everything we can of
right.
I call it out, sure, but dude, catastrophic, a PR thing. There's a billion people in PR on LinkedIn. And they're probably gonna hire somebody. Guess what? Cheaper than that guy.
Michael Llewellyn used to do it. I love Michael Llewellyn, man. I saw him at a blues concert once at a bar down here, and he's a fantastic guy.
Well, now he's running things at UP, but the Jim Taylor was literally their lead PR guy
forever.
And they just randomly canned him.
Yeah.
And they went and hired somebody younger. What happens when you hire somebody younger? They tend to be
cheaper.
So this idea the Vulcans never you're not John Hammond here. This isn't Jurassic Park. He spared no expense. No, the Vulcans, they spared expenses. It wasn't really talked about a whole lot, or you didn't hear a whole lot about it. I saw Jay Allen popping into this. Jay Allen, a longtime former Blazer-related guy in media.
And he's forever.
The Vulcans actually made a lot of financial decisions. They didn't just cut a check to every single human that breathed oxygen.
We've been nothing but the highest level of success for the last 20 years with no controversy.
I'm not trying to defend firing people. I hate it.
Right.
My industry deals with it. I see it. I know people involved with it. It blows, man.
Yeah.
It just feels like some of this is becoming...
It's redundant. It's
and
the
I
same
think
thing over and
I think
over
a lot
again.
of people are starting to go the other way of all right, yeah, all right. Did they lose a game over this?
Right. Can we see how the offseason goes?
Yeah.
Can we see who they hired head coach? Let's see how the rest of this thing plays out.
What if they hire Tiago Splitter? Does he still cheat?
Yes. He probably is.
Did he pony up $2 million for that? Yeah. Got off his 1.5. I'm just fascinated to see where some of this goes.
Yep.
That's where I'm sitting mostly. But meddling owners in the NFL making me think how involved Tom Dundon's going to be as the owner. Went a little over there. 7:42. Back with more on the Fan. want to dance at a wedding.
Feels like good wedding music, doesn't it?
It's like not even being a good dance. You're just out there moving your body.
So my guy Stump City Soul, baby.
It's a great song. Stump City Soul, pretty good little band. This band,
pretty good little band right there. Pretty good little band.
Never heard them before.
They're local.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's a buddy of mine.
How about that?
It's the lead singer. If I got a buddy in a band, I'm throwing the music in the playlist. It's getting in the rotator. That's how we roll around here.
Is he the singer?
Yeah. I grew up with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Have I ever met this guy?
No, he's older than me. He's older than my brother, but his younger brother.
Why do you know so many old people? All
I know
your
it's
friends.
weird. His younger.
I know you're an old soul, but it's like my best friend. He just turned 54.
His younger brother was best friends with my brother.
Oh, okay.
So he's the older brother of
friend.
my brother's
Gotcha.
best friend, and my brother's obviously older than me.
Yeah.
But I've known him. Yeah, I've known him for years. Gone to shows. He's been in different bands over the years. Yeah, they play wedding music, all the good stuff.
I don't think I enjoy anything more than just dancing like a buffoon in a wedding setting.
You've had a couple of cocktails. You're feeling good.
Yeah.
You're loosey goosey. The tie is done. The shirt's unbuttoned. It's a little hot. You got some sweat going on you.
Yes.
And you're letting it flow.
Yeah.
Let it fly. That's a great feeling at a wedding. That's
great.
why we wrap up the speeches quickly, because that's the part of the night that everybody wants.
We just want to get to that part.
Nobody wants to. That's
wrong.
great. You put gum in her hair in 6th grade. Nobody cares. Okay.
My daughter's birthday's this weekend, and we're going to the coast. And my wife was not freaking out. My wife was like, I haven't come up with any games. Got to have games to play.
I got to have kid games. Are you guys like card games or board games? Are we talking?
There's not going to be a lot of kids. That's the interesting thing. It's just a family trip.
It's just the 4 of you going?
No,
or
there got
additional
other families going to come. But just thinking of games, and there's a game that I started playing with them last weekend that I want to play with the rest of my family, and it's from a podcast I listen to. So I like comedy. I love to laugh. And I listened to this podcast called Bad Friends. Mm-hmm. It's got Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, who we famously interviewed. And then 2 years later, he started kind of rising up the charts.
He ain't coming on our show anymore.
He'll never be on our show again. Anyways, they have a podcast that's really funny, and they had Pete Holmes on. Pete Holmes is this.
I love Pete Holmes.
Do you know who Pete Holmes is?
Pete Holmes is one of my favorite stand-up comedians.
He's a religious guy, but he pokes fun at his religion.
Yes.
And then he's kind of not wholly certain what his religion is or how much he believes it, but he is.
Right.
Anyways, he says one of the funnest games, and they ended up playing it on the pod. It's you got to look down. So imagine you're in a setting with your closest friends or family, okay? You have to look down, and you have to look deadpan straight up to everybody, and you have to do the smallest possible smile you can register and also not break.
And not break and laugh.
So whoever, and I mean we all have to see it.
Whoever has the smallest smile.
The smallest possible smile you can make. Without breaking. And I think that's a game I'm going to play this weekend with my family.
That's a good one to do it.
It's a really hard
Get
one
everybody,
to do.
Everybody's laughing, having a good time.
It's not good radio, but for people on YouTube, I want you to play this game with me and Brandon.
The smallest possible smile.
So you have to look down, and when you come up, you have to be deadpanned.
Deadpan, and then do a smile?
The smallest possible smile very quickly.
So I go deadpan smile.
And then deadpan.
And then deadpan.
I'm leaving this to you two because I know that this is probably one of my worst games that I will ever compete in because
you will stop.
I will smile and break instantly.
You'll break.
I'd be so bad on SNL. I'd start
me.
laughing the entire time every time I'm doing a bit.
Oh, would you?
I would break the entire show.
Okay, so
there's no way.
This is not great radio. I'll acknowledge that. So I apologize. I
I'm
love
a
our
Brandon
radio
on this.
listener.
I'm horrible with this.
You can't. Can you try it? You got to look down, deadpan. Look up, deadpan. Small smile. Move on.
I can't do it.
Exhibit A.
I can't do it.
That was so bad.
That was so.
It's one thing to not do it. It's another to you couldn't even stop.
I can't even
laughing.
try. I'm having a good time.
All right, I'll try one time. Okay,
Give me
here we go.
deadpan.
Now you got to register. Is this an actual smile?
Yeah, I need lip movement. Don't pull that.
Is that?
I don't know if that
smile?
classifies as a smile.
It's the littlest smile.
I almost want to call that
It's
a twitch.
It's a
yeah, it was
really
like a twitch.
smile.
Thank you. It was a
But,
twitch.
hey, a twitch. You want me to hold the smile?
That is minimal.
I think you need to hold it. I want to hold.
All right.
Not a cheek twitch here. That was better.
That's better.
That was better.
That was better.
You at least
Well
held
done.
it for a little bit.
Terrible
done.
radio. I
Horrible.
could hear it how bad that radio is. But
Yeah, it's pretty bad radio.
It's a fun.
right there.
It's a fun family game.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
Are we done yelling about Tom Dundon now?
I don't think people are really yelling about Tom Dundon anymore.
I don't either.
I think we're all, I'd say 98% of people are collectively exhausted by it.
Yes.
And the 2% are the ones yelling.
Wait till another person gets fired and then we get to do it all over again.
Oh, it's not done.
Or a coach gets hired and then we get to do it all over again, depending on who they hire and how much money they're spending. I just, the biggest frustration
I'm going to tell you right now, they
for
hired
me-
Jason Kidd. We may have to disagree. I will be out on that.
Is he going to spill a drink to get an extra timeout? Because that's genius. Okay, I'm out of timeouts. I need to stop it. Let's drop a play. Let's spill a drink. I also would be out on that. And we were out on that last time. That's why we ended up with Chauncey Billups, who then had allegations surface and then got arrested by the FBI, in case anybody forgot that. Still our acting head coach, by the way. Did you know Chauncey
Well, he's
Billups?
on administrative leave.
He's still the acting head. He's still the head
But
coach.
he's still the head coach on the website.
He has not been fired. If you go to the website
Do
and
they
look
still
at
define it as acting, though? I don't
it
think
just says
it's
head
acting
coach.
anymore.
Head coach.
It just says head coach Chauncey Billups. He was arrested by the FBI.
The last time he in Oregon was when he left the courthouse?
Probably.
Or was it a couple days later when he listed his house on Zillow?
I don't know. It's a good question. Rich Paul said in the interview he still talks to him all the time, and I'm like, now I'm uncomfortable. He's a great guy. All right, dude.
What if he's found, what if he just pleads guilty?
Yeah, we're going
15
to walk that stuff
years?
back? Like, what? Okay, a little uncomfortable. It's just the memory holding of the last 20 years, as if everything's been hunky-dory.
I
There's
agree.
been no controversies.
I agree.
We've done nothing but win at a high level. Like,
I know.
what world have you been living in, man?
Loaded third hour of the radio program. It's a Magic Hat Thursday. We'll get to the Magic Hat in the final hour. Got quite a bit of audio for the Magic Hat today. We'll get to that.
We do.
Didn't get to my Aaron Rodgers.
A-Rod.
Did you know he's retiring?
I did not know. Wait, he's retiring?
That's a thing.
He doesn't want a goodbye tour, though, so he's not going to tell us.
Definitely not. Ed O is back in the most obvious move ever. We'll talk about all of that.
Here we go.
Hour number 3, Dirt and Sprague on 105.1, The Fan.
on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Thunder evened up the Western Conference Finals at a game apiece after beating the Spurs in Game 2, 122-113. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with an MVP-like performance, 30 points, 9 assists. Victor Wembanyama, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks in the loss. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Golden Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead en route to a 4-2 road win over the Avalanche in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. They now have a 1-0 series lead. Over to the W, despite the Fever's Caitlin Clark missing her first game of the season, your Portland Fire fell short to Indiana 90-73. Bridget Carlton with 16 points to lead Portland. And in soccer, your Portland Thorns notched a 2-0 home win over Bay FC to retake the top spot in the NWSL. M.A. Vignola and Mally McKenzie both scoring their first goals of the season. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports.
Welcome back in. Hour number 3. Durden Sprague, your Portland sports leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan. 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube.
Shout out the Hoggies.
Got a lot to get to in this hour radio. Magic Hack coming up top of the hour. It's always a delightful time on a Thursday.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah, fire away.
So, Magic Hat, always excited for it on Thursday. The great Tim Monis made the Magic Hat open for us.
Yes, he did.
Coincidentally, because you played that, he texted me literally last night and said, trying to find the audio cut when Lamar did the whoa!
Oh, yeah.
Whoa! And he goes, but I'm struggling to find the game. And I cannot tell you why, other than just being, I guess, a viewer.
You remember the game in the moment? I don't remember what it was.
I remember the game. I remember where they played. I remember what he did.
It had to have been a dunk,
it's
right?
It's just so bizarre. It's a regular season game, by the way, in February.
Why do you remember that? Isn't it weird how our brains work? The things that will stick in your head.
But I texted him back pretty quickly. I'm like, oh, they played the Wizards in D.C. They won 129-121. Shaden had 36 points.
Was it a Shaden dunk?
Yeah.
That was the play?
That was the play. It was the steal, and then he jumped 95 inches. It was nuts. And I don't know why I remember that so, like...
It's so dumb.
Easily.
Our brains are ridiculous things. Are they not?
A Wizards game in February? Why is that at the front of my mind of, like... Do you remember when that one... You mean Shaden Sharp in D.C.? 36 points? Yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember a neighbor's name to save my life, and I've talked to them a dozen times, but I'll tell you what happened in Game 5 of the NLDS in 2010.
Dude, I'm sitting in
16 years ago.
There's a very uncomfortable vibe between me and my neighbor across the street. We never really introduced ourselves when we moved in.
Yeah, now you can't. It's over.
And I met her. I've never met him officially, even though I've given mail to their door, even though I wave at them when I see them.
Always a good wave, yeah. I'm a good wave guy.
But, like, and I'm pretty sure he's a diehard Duck fan because I've seen them leave on a Civil War day, like to go watch the game somewhere.
Right, we got some green and yellow gear on.
There's a green and there's an orange, so I think we got a both.
A house divided, if you will.
A little bit, and then, like, I've seen him have golf clubs in his garage, and I'm sitting in a weird spot where this might be my best friend.
This guy could be a buddy here.
But
he likes football. He plays golf.
But I don't know him. Maybe he's not. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know what his name is. And he's never really come over to me. Like, it's a weird, like,
hey, what's up, brother?
It's not even a hey. It's a quick little arm up.
You guys seem to be simpatico of, like, you don't need it. And that's a good neighbor to have. Like,
we don't need the friendship.
Just a cordial, like, I'm all about acknowledging my existence. Don't pretend that I don't exist because I know you see me. So give me a nod. Give me a hello. Yeah. I'm okay with that. But also there are sometimes you feel the pressure of, like, walking around the neighborhood and you're like, you see the neighbors again and you're like, well, I don't really have anything to talk to them about right now. So do you just drop a quick hi if you're walking by the house? Or do you do like a, hey, so how's it going? Like, do you stop and ask a question?
If we're friends, though, you talk about what we would talk about.
Well, I know, I get it, but I'm not always in the mood to like stop and have a conversation for how long is this conversation going to go on for? Like sometimes I'm walking the kid around, I got the dog, he's pulling on the leash, and then I'm like, I feel the pressure to say something and start a conversation when I don't feel like I should.
Well, one neighbor...
Instead of a quick like, hey, how's it going? Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Just keep on moving.
One neighbor I borrowed some equipment from early on because he introduced himself, and he's a very nice guy, and I ended up breaking his equipment, which made me feel awful. But I see him, and, most of the time it's a quick, hey. There's been some other times where it's like...
If I'm out like watering the front yard.
Doing the lawn, huh?
Yeah.
Or you adding lights to your house.
Yep. Yep.
Where'd you get those lights?
Putting lights up.
Got them at Home Depot.
That's what I'm doing.
Like, but like that conversation happens. The other neighbor, it's just a wave. It's a silent wave.
I got to be honest with you. I think I prefer the silent wave.
Really?
I think I do. I don't mind in certain spots having those conversations, but a lot of times they feel forced. Do they not?
Poll question at Dundon Sprague. Are you friends with your neighbor?
Yeah.
Brandon, are you friends with your neighbor?
Friends is too strong of a word.
No. What do you mean?
Friends is like...
See, I think I would disagree. I'm push back here. I think I'm the issue here. I have a brother-in-law. I'm not kidding. Every house he's lived in, and it's only been a couple since I've met him, every house he's lived in, his best friend basically becomes his neighbor. Or his neighbor basically
becomes his best friend. No matter where he lives, he ends up becoming best friends with his neighbor.
His old neighbor in Salem?
Yeah, best friend.
Best friend. Every day, hanging out, having some cocktails, going golfing together. His best friend when he moved up to Clackamas?
Who's got time for a best friend?
Best friend. That guy moves away.
You got time for a best friend? I don't have time for a best friend.
No, I got a wife. A new house.
Yeah, I got a wife and a kid, man.
In fact, he becomes such good friends with his neighbors that now I've become friends with his old neighbors.
That's weird.
I watch one of his neighbors' kids from time to time.
What?
And they're delightful. I love them.
Yes.
Like, truly, they're really good people. But it's just
Is that just luck of the Irish that everywhere he goes, he just happens to have really cool people living next door?
He's a social butterfly,
yeah,
this guy.
He spreads his wings.
He is cocooned and been like, I am Mr. Everybody. What's your taste? What's your flavor? I am him. So, like, that's the only way I've even made friends is through him. Because I'm kind of in that same spot. My best friend is my wife.
Yeah.
What do? I go to the coffee shop with my wife.
That's what my weekend
activities are. I go to the
are.
library with my wife. I look at Saturday markets and I go, ooh, beets.
Like that's my
I never
point.
buy the beets, but I say, ooh, those are beets.
The only time I see my friends is
with
at a
my
random
wife.
sporting event or golf.
Yes.
That's when I see my friends. Like,
exactly.
Hey, they're at a Duck game, let's go grab a beer or something like that, or invited to a Blazer game, or we're playing golf. That's it. That's what I got. I don't have time for friends.
Well, I mean, you do. You just don't make the time for friends. That's the real truth here. We're the problem. We are the problem.
We're the issue. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I am definitely a part of the problem.
I think Dusty's this. I think Dusty's I'm your best friend neighbor guy.
Dusty's definitely one of those guys. Like, I have neighbors that are that way. Like, you could tell they have little cliques in their relationships, and they've been in the neighborhood. We haven't even been there for a full year yet. So I certainly understand we're the new kids on the block. Are you the
young kids on the block?
We might be the youngest ones on the block. There are other people, like, it's not that big of an age gap, or there's a bunch of olds. It's just the tough part for me is, like, I'm not always in the mood to stop and talk, and that makes me feel bad. But I don't think that I should feel bad about that. Like, I talk for a living. We do this for 4 hours a day. I get home. Do you know how many times, like, what my conversations are like all day with my 2-year-old? Like, it doesn't stop. There's no off button. It's just going. And so sometimes when you get, like, a moment of clarity or silence, like, the last thing I want to do is go out and have another conversation. And it's nothing against you. It's me. I'm done. I'm ready to shut down for the day. The off switch has been pressed on my back, and my communication skills are gone. And now I feel like I have to be in a forced conversation about something that I don't really care about.
I would think the 2-year-old would drive you more to want to have a conversation with an adult. Yeah. Instead of like singing along and
hearing data 8,400 data. What?
You're gonna cry the day he stops saying data.
I know I will. Dad?
You're gonna be like, where's data?
Never know the last time you pick up your kids, give them a hug. Talk to your neighbors. Somebody said maybe he knows exactly who you are, but doesn't want to be weird about you being on the radio. I've had that feeling with neighbors in the past.
I'm fairly certain he doesn't. We literally leave at the same time in the morning. He's an early work guy
Maybe he listens to the show. If he's up and about 6 a.m., he's listening right now. He's like, dude, Sprague, what the hell, man? Why don't you say hi to me?
I'd argue he probably is the opposite. Probably hates my show and doesn't want to talk to me.
I've had that thought of neighbors who, when I've moved into neighborhoods and been like, this guy's being a little weird to me. Like, I'm not getting anything in return. And my first initial thought every time is, I wonder if he hates me. Because of he recognized or somehow understood. He's like, oh, that's the guy that hates the Blazers.
See, I have people in my neighborhood that I've walked around and I've met that do listen, and they're super nice. But my actual neighbor across the street,
you never know.
I'm pretty certain he hates our show. Fairly certain. If he's listened at all.
Just waving at this guy. I'm not going to go say hi to him. Not doing that right now.
I don't know. Maybe he's a big sports fan who's only into Rogan.
Could be a big Rogan guy.
There's a weird, that's a world that exists.
That does exist. Those people are out there.
Maybe he's that sports fan.
All right, well, that's enough neighbor talk. Let's get to the serious business of the day. We have, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Yeah.
A goodbye tour on our horizon.
Yep.
This is it.
But it's not about him.
Swan song. It finally comes to an end. I think he said in 2021, I don't want anything to do with a goodbye tour.
Yes, he did.
And yesterday, Aaron Rodgers announced that this will be his last year in the NFL. Now, to be fair to him,
wasn't everybody guessing that was the deal?
Yeah.
Do you think he just did it because he had heard so much of so this is going to be it for Aaron? And he's like, well, this cat's out of the bag.
I guess you're shoving me out the door now. Nobody's going to employ me next year.
This is the thing. I brought this up kind of in passing, and I didn't do it enough justice because there was 4 minutes left in a segment. This is, however you feel about him, this is a monumental career.
Yes.
And this is it for him. I'm not telling you
he's a top 5 quarterback of all time in my book. And I know not everybody agrees with that.
That's fine.
I think you can argue he's top 3 all time.
I mean, when you talk about just raw, pure skill set, you can make an argument he is skill set wise.
Yeah. He had the numbers to back it up.
Maybe the most talented one we've seen.
He had the MVPs to back it up, and I know for some the end-all be-all is Super Bowls, as if Terry Bradshaw's better than Aaron Rodgers. Like, what world are you living in?
Yeah.
But it's just, he's one of the 3 or 5 best quarterbacks, in my opinion, in the history of the NFL.
And so there's a weird thing here where that became a story, and it deserved to be a story, but, are we giving it enough? That we just lost Brady a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Breeze had a great one.
A little bit before that, Breeze. Yeah.
Manning's was a little odd because we kind of knew, and he wasn't a great send off for him. But at least he won the Super Bowl. This is a big one, man. Think about this one. It's then Stafford next, and Stafford's great. Stafford just won the league MVP. He might win his 2nd Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's got MVPs and a Super Bowl trophy.
And maybe some would probably. I wouldn't be shocked if people told me they liked Matt Stafford more than Aaron Rodgers. He was stuck in hellish Detroit for all those years.
Yeah.
Finally gets out, and what's he do? He wins the whole enchilada, proving that, I am that good. But outside of Stafford, then who's next? We're looking at a real run here of waiting for quite a bit.
That's a good question.
In terms of stature, history, legend.
Who would
it's
be
Rodgers,
the next one?
It's Stafford, and then it is...
Let me scroll. I'm looking at names. Who would be the next one close to
of
retirement?
that level? It ain't Kirkers.
No.
So you're really looking at Mahomes, Allen, not even Baker. Baker's not even a level. You're looking
at Dak
at
Prescott types, Jared Goff types. That's the category of guys that you're looking at.
But see, even those guys to me,
they're not on the same level.
They're not on the same tier. No. So you're really looking at we talked about the 5 earlier. Stafford's clearly going to be the next one. But then you're talking about those guys. And that's an insane amount of time between
that's a big fall
now and by the end of what we think their careers will be.
Yeah, it's tough with Rodgers. I get the opinion around him, and I don't blame anybody for feeling about him the way that they do, because he's done 90% of the damage to himself. The one thing I will say, at least in this case, one, to your point, nobody's surprised. This should be your last year. Many people would argue you should have hung it up after last year. I don't know why you're playing again. But the other part of it is there was a clip that went viral, him in the Green Bay uniform in 2021 saying, I want nothing to do with a goodbye tour. And now everybody's like, oh, there comes a hypocrite, Aaron Rodgers again. And it's he was asked a question in press conference. He didn't come out and say, guys, please give me a present everywhere I go. Please, every town I visit this year, give me a rocking chair or a sewn-together football because I want to be celebrated all year. He was just asked, is this going to be your last year? And he said yes. And it was as simple as that. And so it will set up to be a bit of a retirement tour for him. But I don't I will at least defend him in that regard. I don't think that was something that he was looking for or seeking out, despite his massive ego, which he certainly has. It is. I hadn't thought about it that way, of the gap of until you lose guys who are generational talents, right? Like, I could feel how I feel about Rodgers in the all-time pantheon of quarterbacks, and people might disagree with that and have him ranked differently. That's the beauty of opinions. We can all have one. But there's no debate he's one of the best in the history of the NFL. The number of MVPs he won, the Super Bowl championship that he got, the numbers that he put up.
He put up stupid numbers.
Like, you're talking about a guy who is in that conversation wherever you want to rank him, and it's weird to go that long. We'll eventually hit that next group of guys, right, when you lose Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, right?
But the gap between then and now,
I mean, you're looking at another decade at least,
maybe
until
10 years.
One of those guys starts retiring, or some of those guys, and it might even be longer than that, because Rodgers is, 42 now at this point?
I thought he's 41.
41?
Yeah, maybe he's going to be 42, but I thought he was 41.
Stafford is 38, going to turn 39.
And it feels to me that if they do win it,
he walk off, do the Elway.
I wouldn't be shocked. Now, I think he signed a 2-year extension.
They can get out of that. I mean, that's
and maybe he will play the second year out, win or no win. But
then it's a tough Kelsey decision of, like, do you go for the three-peat and then you don't win, and then you're like, oh, well, now I'm back for another year, and then and then you start chasing it a little bit.
But I'm also kind of wondering, like, how many guys are even allowed the grace to get the moment, right? Like, how many? I'll give you an example here. I went to the Kobe victory tour game when he came through Portland.
Yeah, the last game of his career here.
For me as a media member, it's one of the coolest moments of my career. Was I legitimately had a conversation with Kobe Bryant in the hall, not on camera. I did ask him a question in the locker room, and he thought it was funny, but, like, legitimately told him about a moment that I had watched when he was a Laker early in his career, and he had remembered that game, and, like, we had a real quick back and forth, and I was like, dude, I was never really a big Kobe guy.
How could you be as a Blazer fan? You can't.
How awesome was that moment for me, right?
You appreciate what he meant to the game.
You know who came through that didn't quite have that same fanfare, nor did he have even a tenth of the media that cared? D-Wade.
Yeah.
D-Wade came through. Last game.
Didn't ring a bell.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And D-Wade is probably the third greatest shooting guard of all time. Am I wrong on that?
It's in the mix.
I think most people say, obviously, Mike.
Yeah.
I think almost everybody would pick Kobe.
Multiple championships.
So
did Wade win an MVP?
I don't know if he won a league MVP.
Okay. I know he was great in the finals MVP, and that certainly helps.
But he won a finals, Wade County, man. Like, they still call it that.
They do.
Well, I think it also is Wade County.
It's Dade County.
Dade County,
but
they
name
it
it Wade
Thank
County,
you.
yeah.
But, like, my point is just, like, not a lot of those guys are even given that moment, the idea or the goodbye, right? Like, you can think, again, however you want about the Rodgers and LeBrons. Some people roll their eyes at all of it, right? To me, even if I'm not a fan or a diehard fan, I just appreciate it. And what Rodgers did over his career was phenomenal. I don't know how many quarterbacks in my life I'll ever see be as talented with touch and passing ability and some of the throws. I mean, think about the Hail Mary, the iconic Hail Mary throws that he was involved in. And
how many moments he had.
Yeah, just how many great moments he had. I didn't think he'd eclipse Favre. To me, I think he blew Favre out of the water.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, how I view the quarterback position.
Agree. I mean, he's a significantly better quarterback than Brett Favre.
Well, even like the four that we named, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar. Like, if you told me Lamar in a victory tour, because Lamar will lose his mobility and eventually just kind of fizzle as a starter and just be a backup for the last 5 years of his career.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and go, well, you're insane. But some of those guys get it and a lot of others don't. And it's just yesterday I thought about, like, after him, after Stafford, who then? Who is it? I think it is that core of guys that we'd have to wait a pretty lengthy amount of time for.
Like, we'll go through this when LeBron retires, and maybe next year is it for him in the NBA, and he'll get his send-off and everywhere he goes.
I think it will be. I think he's going to announce at some point in the summer.
I got one more run in me.
Do you know how much money they're going to make on the goodbye merch?
Oh, I mean, they're going to make a ton. Thank you, King.
And honestly, you can hate him.
Dude, these
He's
guys
deserving
deserve
of a
it.
victory tour.
If you're one of the greatest to ever play a sport and you've been around for 20-plus years in professional sports at the highest level possible, you deserve some sort of... Like, I have no issues with guys wanting to do that and want to have that proper send-off because it's got to be weird. It's also weird as a fan. Like, just to think about... They're very similar, Rodgers and LeBron is in that regard. Like, Rodgers he was drafted in 2005.
They're very polarizing athletes.
I was in high school, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was
I
a
just
sophomore in
graduated.
high school when he was drafted.
Yep.
I'm 37 years old with a 2-year-old. Like, he's been around that long.
Still putting the chin strap on.
His first year as a starter was 2008. That was my freshman year at Oregon. Like, that feels like forever ago. And it's been my entire life. He's been, like, essentially my entire adult life. He's been a starting quarterback. And so I got no issue with it. I said earlier in the week, and I'm going to maintain it, like, I won't remember him as a Steeler or a Jet. I will remember him, throwing 49 touchdowns and 5 picks in a season for the Packers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, and this is the case with some other quarterbacks, like, he will have a bit of that what-if era around him or aura around him of, like, man, all that talent, all those numbers, all those MVPs, and you only got one.
I know.
And that's
But he got one.
One's better than none.
Yes.
One is greater than zero. We all acknowledge that. But it is a great reminder in sports, and we do this all the time, especially in the NFL. This idea as if you did something, that means it will continue, or he hasn't done it yet, but he definitely will. When Rodgers won that Super Bowl, what year did they win the Super Bowl? 2010?
2010 or 11, right?
10 or 11 when they beat the Steelers?
I think it was 2010.
2010, thank you. So third year as a starter in the NFL. He wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He goes on to start another 15, 16 seasons. If you tell me that in the moment that he's not going to win another one, let alone get back to another one,
I don't know who would have believed you.
nobody would have believed me. It's just that, it makes some of the guys in the runs that they go on
Puts it in
that much
perspective.
like Mahomes and what
Yes.
he's done, and obviously Brady, and then Manning eventually getting one with another team. It's just a reminder that nothing is guaranteed despite your talent. And his numbers after 2010, like he was good in 2010, he was good in 2009, he was a good starter right out of the gate. He became an exceptionally better player as the years went on.
Yes, he did.
And it did not matter. They could not get back to another Super Bowl. A lot of near misses for him over the years. And he's announcing it, hanging him up. Aaron Rodgers last year, not a surprise. I don't think anybody's taken aback by it. He's not announcing the retirement tour. He was just asked, will this be your last year? He said, yes, I will retire after this year. So Rodgers has one more year. Another guy, welcome back in the world of football. We'll tell you who it is next. 105.1 FM The Fan.
Aaron Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Thunder evened up the Western Conference Finals at a game apiece after beating the Spurs in Game 2, 122-113. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with an MVP-like performance, 30 points, 9 assists. Victor Wembanyama, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks in the loss. Some key injuries last night to keep an eye on ahead of Game 3 tomorrow. Jalen Williams of OKC re-aggravated his left hamstring, and Dylan Harper of the Spurs exited the game after injuring his right hamstring. He'll undergo an MRI today. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Golden Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead en route to a 4-2 road win over the Avalanche in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Over to the W, despite the Fever's Caitlin Clark missing her first game of the season, your Portland Fire fell short to Indiana 90-73. Bridget Carlton with 16 points for Portland. And in soccer, your Portland Thorns notched a 2-0 home win over Bay FC to retake the top spot in the NWSL. M.A. Vignola and Mally McKenzie both scoring their first goals of the season. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan.
Before we get to our familiar friend being back in the world of college football, can we criticize? Now, I have been a proponent of hers for a long time. We talked about something on the show yesterday, and then we're 5 games into the season. We're load managing. 5 games into the year. You're the face of the league.
I was going to text
We're
you.
an expansion franchise. I get the update in the middle of the day. I think I was listening to the Fans. Somebody doing an update was like, hey, Caitlin Clark's not going to play tonight. What? Now, they still killed us, which is good for us because we're, what has Sue called it? Doo-doo for Juju, I think is what we're going with.
Is that what he's going with?
I think that's what they're
Doo-doo for Juju?
Doo-doo for Juju
Right,
is what Isaac and Suk are saying, which made me chuckle the other day.
I'm okay with doo-doo for Juju.
I mean, that's solid. Juju, we know how good she is. So
we
I
gained
get
a
it.
game yesterday. Connecticut won.
That's good. We needed to gain a
we
game.
lost. They won. Here
I'd
we
rather
go.
gain a game and watch Caitlin Clark play. What are we doing? It's 5 games in.
The funny thing is, you had asked me, you're like, didn't she get hurt? And I had just saw her last game, and I'm like, I don't think so.
There was a video of her on the sideline doing something, and I didn't know if it was my algorithm throwing in like a Caitlin Clark thing to react to from last year or whether it was from this year.
Yeah.
So this wasn't a new injury. It was just a part of their management plan or whatever they called it for the season.
It's load managing.
Like
they don't want to call it that.
You
They said she had a back
40
injury.
games.
Yeah, I don't know.
40.
Man. She missed most of last
Is this
season.
teaching us the lesson that if the NBA cuts games, you're
They're still
going to
load manage?
Yeah, go to 70. That'll fix it.
Dude.
No, guys are just going to play 48 now.
I mean,
instead of 58.
Probably, but, look, I also saw this. You had asked that. I looked it up. I was like,
I
no,
was
I
livid
think
yesterday.
She's
dude.
fine.
I was livid.
And then maybe 4 hours after our show, it was like, Caitlin Clark has been ruled out for lower back problems / I don't even, they don't call it load managing. They call it like,
I can't remember what there was.
Management something.
Yeah, it was a really dumb
and I was
designation.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And so I turned the game on anyway because it's the Fire. It's our team. I thought the Fever would end up winning because they're a pretty good team without her. And, we had to get blown out. But I was like, yeah, dude, what a bummer to watch that game, and she's not playing.
This is now, I saw this on Yahoo. They said the Fever may have violated league rules with its decision to not play Caitlin Clark versus the Fire on Wednesday. League rules stipulate that all matters relating to player availability must be submitted by 5 p.m. the day before the game.
See, that's what I'm saying. They didn't have any injury designation.
During back-to-backs, Clark did not participate on Tuesday, which should have been reported by Indiana. The team instead waited until just before the game to announce that she was injured and not playing. Look, you're in a tough spot right now as a league because you're up and coming. They got this new media deal. They got through the CBA and all that stuff. She's still the engine that drives the sport, and that's an unfair burden, I guess, to put on her. But, can you imagine if you flip this for, when are we now, 8 days away from their trip to Portland, right? The 29th is when they're coming to town. So next Saturday or Friday night, whatever it is.
The prices of those tickets, and
Dude, if she doesn't play...
Oh, I mean,
it's a disaster. I'd be livid.
You saw this last year. One, you saw it in Indiana because she suffered that injury, and it was a bad injury.
Right.
you know how much money people spent to have season tickets last year in
And
Indiana?
she played in 10 games, 8 games, whatever it was. She barely played.
And then when she did the road games, like we looked up trying to go to the Storm game when they came to town, and I just backed out of it and we got a different game because the prices were nuts. She got hurt like right after that or right before the game, but like, right after I had looked at tickets. I can't imagine if we would have bought those tickets. Yeah, because like that's the thing we give crap to the men for is like
when you go to a game, you want to watch and play,
dude. I mean they can't call it this, but they should. It's the Caitlin Clark rule.
Yeah,
if you're healthy and you don't have an injury designation,
you
have to play. You matter too much to the league. Like
yes.
That's the unfortunate nature. Yes, she didn't ask for this per se, but she certainly ain't shying away from the gravy train of it.
No,
she's in the State Farm ads. Like she's benefited greatly from it.
Yes, she has.
And I know her salary still sucks from what her pay scale should be, but like the league has gotten what it's gotten, and a lot of it is her. Whether the players there want to say that or not, it's just a reality, man. The Caitlin Clark bump to women's basketball viewership is absolutely something you could tie to. So
yeah, I don't know how you work this out. There's no way to do it, and teams would never do it. But like the ticket sale refund process,
well, you'd have to. I mean,
like
basically,
somebody needs to file a
back.
lawsuit, dude. Like we need a class action suit against
we've been doing
this
this
from
with
happening.
the NBA.
I know it happens, and it drives me nuts.
You know, people have gone to a LeBron game,
right?
And for whatever reason, he hasn't played all the games in Portland per se. Who was it? I think it's Luka.
Luka hasn't played here in like 10
6 years or
yeah,
something. Whatever it is. Like, imagine buying a ticket to go see Luka. Wemby. I mean, I got lucky, right? Like, I got a gift of a game with Wemby 2 years ago. That's the last time he played in Portland.
That was the biggest bummer for me of going to Game 3, sans the outcome of the game and it feeling like a morgue in the aftermath of it.
Concussion.
I was 5 rows up from the floor, and I'm like, this would have been so cool to see Wemby this close.
It's the craziest cool thing in sports that I've seen in a long time.
And it just didn't happen.
This is, you know who played yesterday? Paige Beckers. She's better.
She not going to load manage? Not load manage
Paige Beckers is she's all about, I mean, come on, man. Ball's life.
Ball's life.
Ball is life.
I see my gal Angel Reese is having a bit of a rough go this year. She can't make layups. And she got traded.
I hate to tell you this.
Yeah.
First of all, she wanted to get traded. She hated Chicago.
She wanted out of Chicago.
She's got her dream in Atlanta.
She's the Atlanta dream.
She's always been pretty bad at layups.
Yeah,
she's not an offensive
I don't watch
juggernaut.
enough to react to it.
She's a 12-and-12 player.
Okay.
What
she
is
grabs
your stat
rebounds.
line?
Yeah.
She's a glorified Draymond.
Okay. Is she a good defender?
She's okay.
Okay.
She's not amazing.
Is she a good passer?
Okay.
She's
an 11
Her highlights
player.
of missing layups pop up quite often.
Oh, I know.
On social media, and
know.
I'm like, is this real? Is this? Am I getting
well aware?
Am I getting catfished right now?
Well aware.
She can't make a shot inside 3 feet. This is wild. You play in the WNBA.
Guess what? She has never really been that player.
Okay.
But she is averaging.
What are the numbers? What's her field goal percentage?
She's averaging 12 and 13 or 10 and 13.
10 and 13. What's the field goal percentage?
Give me a second.
Tell me, as a big in the WNBA, it's 50%. It's got to be 50. Are we in the 30s? Is there a 3? Does it start with a 3 or a 4?
It starts with a 3.
Ooh,
has another 3, and then that's followed up by a 3. Oh, she's at 33.3% from the field.
That's so bad from the field.
She also averages 5 turnovers a game.
That is so bad.
Leads the league in turnovers.
She almost gets you 2 blocks a game, though.
I'm just as responsible for this as Caitlin Clark. It was a moment in time, though. Moment in time, I won't disrespect that. So
she is one of the more popular players off the court.
She's one of the more recognizable players. There's no doubt about that. Look, Caitlin Clark, you're still my gal, but don't do that crap again. If you do, I'm out. You're on the S list.
You're out on Caitlin?
I was excited to watch the game last night, and then I'm like, I don't.
You want to be excited? Turn on a Dallas Wings game. Paige Beckers plays every game. You want to get excited? You have your heart broken, turn on Caitlin Clark. That's right. Get excited, you put on Paige Beckers. Caitlin Clark out there balling with her boo? I don't think so.
Balling with her boo.
Paige Beckers out there dishing to her love interest because she's got dimes.
God, what if they break up? That's going to be wild.
Dude,
stuff.
I need a game-winning kiss.
Yeah, game-winning walk-off kiss.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Love is love.
Well, we have a new guy, or an old guy back in our lives in a new role with an old friend.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
This is wild. The once upon a time
just means more.
Former hypothetical Oregon State head coach
Go be.
Take your hands and put it down your pants, son. Squeeze them damn things. Make sure you got two.
I think
Here we
that's
go,
the
man.
same interview.
Here we go.
He said he wanted to be the Oregon State coach.
Man, Oregon State calls me. I'm saying yes. I'm taking that job right now.
I go Covell. Covell on me.
Go be about that. Ed Orgeron has returned to our lives in college football, and you might be wondering, man, who would hire Ed? Oh, that's right, the school that fired him. LSU has hired Ed Orgeron to come in. And look, just like his role, like I feel like he just needs a placard on his office door that just says Ed Orgeron.
He's the assistant general manager.
Like it just is ludicrous. He doesn't need a title. It's dumb. He's going to go recruit. He's been friends with Kiffin forever. He knows the Bayou region as good as anybody.
And then Lane Kiffin will be like, actually, you're the assistant to the manager.
You're the interior defensive line assistant specialist coach.
For recruiting.
Also, hand out bags for us, please, and go talk in your southern voice.
Take your hands and put it down your pants, son.
This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal, and I'm glad that it happened.
Well, let's not also, correct me if I have this wrong.
What do you got?
Wasn't he fired for basically brushing away sexual assault?
I don't remember that. I thought he was fired because he sucks.
Well, I think they were looking for a reason to get out of the
like
situation.
2 years later, it was like, that was the biggest fluke of all time. Joe Brady's gone. That's not going to happen anymore, and we appreciate your services, but I thought, did he get in trouble? He wasn't sexually assaulting people,
No, not him, but he had a player.
Oh.
Remember, and he was kind of covering up and like
I don't
saying,
remember
no
it.
big
You
deal.
might be right. I don't remember that one. Maybe I memory hold that from my Ed Orgeron because I think his sound bites are funny.
Squeeze
A lawsuit.
them damn things. Make sure you got two.
Darius Geis.
Okay.
The rape allegation. A lawsuit alleged that Orgeron was told by a player Geis had assaulted the player's girlfriend in 2016. He basically was like, well, don't move out. We'll move on.
I mean, that's a reason to fire a coach. I don't think that's why LSU fired him. I think they fired him because they realized the magical run was over. But when you get information like that to get you out of a contract, you're going to take advantage of it.
He was told that Darius Geis may have raped somebody, and he was like, oh, no big deal.
Did not take it seriously.
Yeah.
And now we welcome him back with open arms. Come on back down to Baton Rouge.
We dodged a bullet in Corvallis. That much I'll say.
Or did you? We don't know.
I mean, would he have been
We don't know.
entertaining? There's no doubt about it, but man, of any university, somebody put this really well. Nobody, maybe in the history of the sport, has acted and rolled out their program in the way that a drunk guy talks about how they should operate at a bar more than LSU. Mm-hmm. You should fire Brian Kelly, pay him money, go away, hire Lane Kiffin. Let's bring back Ed up. Like, imagine a drunk-ass SEC
the former
fan.
head coach who you fired like 5 years ago. It's not even that long ago.
I mean, yeah, and also fired for a very ugly reason. It just like, you know, he's good recruiting.
Ed Orgeron.
He speaks our language.
Did you see? So Lane Kiffin was on with Pardon My Take, and he had some funny stuff in there. And he's like, I can't stand Lane Kiffin. One of the funny things that he talked about, though, is how they have an SEC coaches group chat. So all the head coaches in the SEC are in one group chat throughout the course of the year. And he joked that it's basically me talking to myself. Like, I send things every day.
Gonna say, dude,
and nobody else really chimes in on
that
it.
Group chat?
But he did joke about, at the end of the season, how awkward it is when somebody gets fired. And the idea of, like,
you got to remove them.
So who's going to do it? Somebody's got to go remove somebody from the chat. And he said to get over the uncomfortable nature of it, that they've just started, they create a new one every year.
Oh, and
instead of deleting somebody, all the coaches just say, here's our new coach feed. But then he said, I'm an idiot and I lose track of it. And sometimes I'll send messages to the old group chat like, hey, guys, you excited for the season?
And that guy's in the Big 12 now.
Billy Napier's in there like, dude, I'm at Louisiana Lafayette. What happened here? Or where's he at? James Madison, I think he ended up at.
I just had this. So my Hood to Coast van has a group chat, just our van. So there's 6. My cousin was our driver. But now he's going to run, and somebody that ran for us is going to run on a different team. And so I didn't even text anything. I removed him. But it just pops up.
So-and-so was removed from the chat.
So-and-so has been removed from the conversation.
Because you can take yourself out from a group chat, and then it says so-and-so left the conversation.
But you don't see that. But, I saw that I had removed somebody. Nobody texted anything because it was whatever, but it's how many times you often, like, do you find yourself removing people from group chats?
No. I never have.
So I
don't have that many group chats, thankfully.
So I have a very funny one.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but God, I'm sick. I think this is hilarious. We have an inter-family beef situation happening, and I will not specify who, but let's just say there is a group chat with the people and that I'm on. So it's like an 8-person group chat.
8 people, okay.
And every time the group chat is reintroduced, that person will text, and then the person that hates that person or is mad at that person, they won't even respond. It'll say so-and-so has left the
Just
conversation.
immediately like, I'm out, dude.
And then it'll go away. It'll be dead. And then a month later, they'll restart the thing.
Hey, you're back. Nope,
moves
I'm out.
himself every time.
Stop putting me in these group chats, man.
And I just start
I don't want
laughing.
it.
Like, how long till he removes himself from the group chat this time?
And there it is. There's the announcement.
1 hour.
Hey, I'm out of here. Ed Orgeron, welcome back to college football. In the SAC, it just means more. I'm going to throw a random one at you, a curveball, if you will. That's next, 105.1 FM, The Fan.
Go Tigers.
The biggest question.
Tigers. Go Tigers. How about that? God, I love Orgeron being back. It's great for college football. LSU flaming out. Where's that on your wish list bingo? I've been on this run now where I feel like we're on a. Now, people would disagree with the Indiana part of this because that was such a cool story. But, when they chop your team's head off twice in order to do it, it's not quite as enjoyable.
Well, they might only win 8 games now.
They're only going to win 7 next year. Reality check, Signetti. Here it comes, bitch. But I think we're on a pretty bad run of champions, right? Like the Dodgers back-to-back.
You think we're on a bad run of champions?
The Dodgers, were you excited to see the Dodgers win titles?
Were
you happy to see the Seahawks win a Super Bowl as a 49er fan? Was that a good one for you? Huh? Yeah? You had a lot of fun? Super Bowl Sunday? You enjoy that one? You like watching the Thunder and SGA flop his way to an NBA title last year when the best player on the other team tears his Achilles in Game 7?
That sucked.
Ohio State the year before that, despite losing to Michigan and getting buried to their own field, they shouldn't even have been in, and then they went on to win the title. That sucks.
Look,
we're on a rough stretch here.
You might be right.
I'm rooting for LSU to flame.
The Panthers repeating. You
the Panthers sucked. I hate
Florida Panthers.
A city who doesn't give a rat's ass about hockey.
No, but they throw rats on the ice.
Back-to-back Stanley Cup titles drove me crazy.
You're making a very valid point. I don't think Indiana's a bad champion.
Let me ask you this.
Why is Indiana a bad champion?
No, it's bad for me. It's not bad. That's why I said people can disagree with the Indiana part.
That was the standalone good one of all of it.
Totally agree. Now, if they had beaten your team to get there, you would feel drastically different about it. So I acknowledge that's a me problem, not an everybody else problem. Who's the worst team to win a national title in college football next year?
Like it's not good for the sport?
No, just like for you're just like, oh, they won? Ugh. Because LSU has to be high on that list, don't they?
No, LSU winning is not, I don't want them to have success, but I would instantly respond with, no, you can make an argument it might be the best because it's going to be so controversial.
I'm not saying it's good or bad for the sport. I'm just saying you personally have that would suck for me to see Lane Kiffin do what he did to Ole Miss, go to LSU, and then find a way. Like, we're all rooting for that to flame out. We all want him to fail.
Right, but I have one for you.
It's good for the sport. I grant you that.
Who's yours?
I think it's LSU. I think LSU's the top of my list.
Oh, it's an easy. You're wrong on your own choice.
Oh, who else is out there?
You should not want Miami to win the national championship.
Miami, yeah. Miami's
definitely
You do not
there. Want Mario hoisting that trophy after leaving you guys the way he left you.
It's all right. He won't. He can't win the big one.
Well, neither can Dan Lanning.
We got to play more big ones during the year, right? I'd like to be in the ACC. Why don't you win a conference title, Mario?
I'm trying to think of a really good one out of the box. Who's
the best
bad
one?
National champion?
Who is the best one for you? Is it LSU just because of the entertainment factor? Because I desperately want to see Lane Kiffin fail.
I want to see, I want to see Kiffin fail. They're
I don't
up
want him
there,
to win a title. That would suck.
I know, but you can make an argument that like the amount it sucks.
Who's the best feel-good national champion?
Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's great. Ole Miss would be it.
Winning it and LSU not even making it is
an LSU
hilarious.
Ole Miss SEC title game. Not that those matter as much anymore, but like if you get a playoff game of that level and Ole Miss knocks them out. What if LSU had to go on the road to Ole Miss in the first round of the college football playoffs?
I'm going to give you one. I think it's Ohio State.
Is the worst one?
It's the worst one.
Yeah.
Them winning 2 of their last 3 national champions.
2 out of 3 would suck.
2 out of 3 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's
I would hate it.
But yeah, it would blow. Notre Dame would be a feel good. I like Marcus Freeman. Like Notre Dame winning something into that level for a first time in a long time. Would
Notre
be
Dame,
cool.
I'm fine with. And look, I'm not happy at LSU if they win it. My point is just that, like,
I see your argument.
Holy intrigue, right?
Yes.
Like
generating clicks and attention, that will definitely do it.
Well, the best one now for you in the NBA is the Spurs. Or is it the Knicks?
It's the Knicks, dude. It's not even close. It's the Knicks. The Knicks knocking off the juggernaut from the West, continuing the stretch of no repeat champions.
Well, if the Spurs knock off the Thunder, that's going to happen regardless.
Yes, it will. Either way. So you're right. The San Antonio would do it, but there's not the New York deserves it more than San Antonio does.
You're not wrong.
San Antonio had a 20-year dynasty, which, by the way, was sparked by a championship win over who? The New York Knicks.
It started in 99.
It all started with a win over the Knicks in the NBA Finals, and that's going to be the irony, not lost on me, if San Antonio beats New York in the NBA Finals, that, okay, great, here comes another 20-year dynasty run started by a championship win over New York.
Well, I think people are already putting themselves in the idea that it's a 20-year title run that we have here again with Wemby, but hockey's actually uniquely set up to have a great one.
Yeah, no matter who the winner is, it's intriguing for me.
Well,
Vegas getting another one is the one I don't want to see.
I think
them winning last night was wild. Like that, Carter Hart was great. Shout out to the Everett Silvertips of the Dub. He was a WHL player. He was great.
I'll take your word for it.
He was great last night.
I think Vegas and Colorado
You think the East winner is the best
I think the
case
East
scenario?
winner is the best case scenario for hockey, especially if it's a Canadian team, but also like Carolina winning. And for Tom Dundon purposes, it'd be very interesting.
Doesn't know what he's doing as an owner.
Trying to get the NFL. Buffalo.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a million of them in the NFL.
But it has to be Buffalo.
Buffalo, what, Detroit, is that better than Detroit? That's the beauty of the NFL. Like outside of like Kansas City, who we don't really want to see do it again.
Or Philly.
Do it again. Anybody else like, I'm
What
cool
about
with it.
Seattle repeating?
I'm not a fan of repeats, no matter who it is. And I hate Seattle teams, so I certainly don't want to see that. That wouldn't be ideal in my mind. But it would be wild to see Sam Darnold go back-to-back Super Bowls.
How would we even begin to
I'd love to go back and dig
career?
up every comment from Seahawks fans when they went to go get him. It's the equivalent of our former coworker who was a Warrior fan who wanted them to trade Steph instead of Monte Ellis. And then like 3 years later, you're like, oops, glad they didn't listen to me.
He filmed himself throwing a Monte Ellis bobblehead doll into the Willamette River the day that they traded Monte Ellis.
He was depressed. He was done with the organization. He was quitting.
He's like, this is it.
I'm done.
Weak little ankles, not on my watch.
And then he won titles.
And then he proceeded to have one of the best runs in NBA history.
Yeah, he did. That one didn't age very well.
I got a lot of bad takes out there.
I hope that's our young Hansen. Please be our young Hansen.
I mean, yeah. If there's anything I want to be wrong
Please be
about,
Chinese Jokic. I'll eat
give
all the
us
crow.
Chinese Jokic.
I promise.
Filming yourself denouncing the franchise with a player who's not even in the top 280 all time in league history. Over a guy that might be a top 8 player just in impact and career, that's a wildly bad take.
That one didn't age very well for you there, Bob.
That is, I can't even try to put my finger on what kind of comp that is. What would the comp be for us? I can't think of one.
Well, we don't have that because we have not had any success in 20 years, so we don't really have anything to point to.
Here's one. A guy that's a Seahawk fan hearing that Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback now, the Seahawks as a rookie.
Over Matt Flynn.
Oh, yeah? Here's my Rick Meyer bobblehead. Oh!
But again, even that was only one. You got multiple out of Steph.
One in Seattle.
I know. It was the first one ever.
Mine as well feel like 5. The Seahawks for most of my life were terrible.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I'm sure some Niner fans felt that with the Montana to Young thing. Now, again, it was only one, and it took him a while to get there, and for a while he couldn't do it. Couldn't win the big one, and then he finally did.
But they kept winning.
That was probably one. They were still playing at a high level, yeah.
The Warriors were, outside of the 1-8 upset,
they had done
largely one
nothing.
of the more relevant franchises in sports.
With ugly jerseys and a bad color scheme.
So throwing a Monte Ellis bobblehead into the river because Steph Curry was going to play, it's a pretty extreme example here.
Well, I didn't get to my curveball there. I'll save that for the final hour. We do have a lot to get to. We got Game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's start, though, in the Magic Hat, as we always do on Thursday. Kick it off next. 105.1 FM The Fan.
Big hits. Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Thunder evened up the Western Conference Finals at a game apiece after beating the Spurs in Game 2, 122-113. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with an MVP-like performance, 30 points, 9 assists. Victor Wembanyama, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks in the loss. Some key injuries last night to keep an eye on ahead of Game 3 tomorrow. Jalen Williams of OKC re-aggravated his left hamstring, and Dylan Harper of the Spurs exited the game after injuring his right hamstring. He'll undergo an MRI today. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Golden Knights jumped out to a 3-0 lead en route to a 4-2 road win over the Avalanche in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Over to the W, despite the Fever's Caitlin Clark missing her first game of the season, your Portland Fire still fell short to Indiana. It's 90-73. Bridget Carlton with 16 points for Portland. And in soccer, your Portland Thorns notched a 2-0 home win over Bay FC to retake the top spot in the NWSL. Emma Vignola and Mally McKenzie both scoring their first goals of the season. I'm Brandon Henson from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports Network.
Let's do this final hour. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. It's been a fun show, turning and burning. It's a Thursday.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
One more hour to go. 80 degrees today. Hope you're beating the heat out there. Lots to get to. We get to Game 2 of the conference finals in the East tonight. We get Tommy Two Nickels' Carolina Hurricanes dropping the puck in the Eastern Conference Finals against Montreal.
That's a good thing they're hosting this game.
It is, yes.
They wouldn't be there yet if they had to walk.
They would have already had to check out of their hotels by now. They just have to go walk around the lobby all day until Game 1 of the conference finals starts tonight. So all that's still to come in this hour of radio. By the way, we had a lot of texts coming in about the worst possible outcome. I enjoyed this one. Somebody said Aaron Rodgers winning the Super Bowl would be so annoying in his last year. Duck fan chiming in, by far the worst one is Lincoln Riley, and I don't disagree, but also, let's make a playoff before we do that.
I was surprised you didn't say that.
I think that's his point,
Well, it's not a threat. They're going to go 9. We all know they're going to go 9-3 this year and miss the playoff.
But the time is now.
Mark it down now.
Put
Give me a
that on
sticky note.
Post-it.
May 21st, 9:03 a.m. They will go 9-3 this year and miss the playoff. Okay. Mark it down. Mark it down, dude.
Yeah, well, if he gets in, though, you know what he's going to do.
He's going to not win a playoff game because he's never won a playoff game in his career?
No, he's going to pleasure the trophy.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Why don't we make a playoff and then win a playoff game first? He's literally never won a playoff game. You realize that?
Are you surprised Lane or Lincoln
realize how
hasn't
long?
created a meme coin?
Like, the Huskies would also be a worst-case scenario, but, let's be honest.
You said Kyler could win the Super Bowl?
That's the NFL.
Why can't DeMond win the college football national championship?
They got to sue him if he doesn't win 9 games. Hey, right now, if you text the word journey, I actually can't make that joke anymore because we're suing people. If you text the word journey to 503-864-6326.
Taking yourself out of the suing conversation.
Journey, you'll be entered for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Journey on September 19th at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. You can go to 1051thefan.com for complete details. Again, text Journey to 503-864-6326. But also a lot of Beaver fan chiming in. We all know the worst possible case scenario is Oregon winning a title. And in that case, you are 100% correct.
Here's the thing. I didn't need to say that because I knew my Beaver brethren were going to text that.
You knew
in.
that
was
an
obvious one. I can't imagine.
Oh, we'll be insufferable.
This show is just going to become Andy Dirt Johnson with Brandon Sprague. It's hard enough just being Dirt and Sprague. If they win, it's going to become Andy Dirt Johnson with Brandon Sprague.
Very nice for Dan to wait until both my sons are born so they can witness it, both be alive, see a championship. I appreciate that, Dan. Appreciate you holding that one out for me, dog.
Duck fan, answer me this. What year did Oregon win the national championship if I told you little 1-year-old Milt watched it happen? What year was it? You would have said 1934?
That's tall furs right there for you, baby. 1939.
Milt. There's
Get you
going to
one
be
of
a
these.
boy in 2026 named Milt watching Oregon win a title. That's great.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to win that name battle, but we try. We don't. We'll die on that hill for as long as we can. Let's get to the Magic Hat, shall we?
All right, let's get to the Magic Hat.
It's the Magic Hat.
Yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for.
Bring it on.
Basically a bunch of topics, and we have no idea where the sports gods want us to go until Swag pulls it out of his magic hat.
Hocus pocus, where are you?
Now you see me, now you don't.
It's magic.
It's simply what it is. It's magic. We don't know what's going to come out of this hat.
Where is that rabbit?
Abracadabra, MFers. Let's do the magic hat.
The only thing this hat's good for is the trash can.
Magic Hat time on a Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's glorious. Bask in the sunlight for a moment. Appreciate the vitamin D that is raining down upon you. Hopefully your window's down for a good Magic Hat segment.
Oh, makes you feel.
It feels great. Dude, how about how light it was on the drive in today, too?
It's
a total game changer, man.
loving it.
The moods are better. Feels like I'm a normal person, not a raccoon digging through trash cans in the middle of the night.
Never mind that gas is $9 a gallon.
Don't remind me of that.
The economy's terrible.
Other than that.
We're in a war.
Maybe I should have been at Jan 6. I would have got paid out, be rich, leaving your ass behind.
Quick question on this.
Sure.
Should have played the Magic Hat, didn't. The Attorney General was talking to the committees, of course, because they're like, you guys want to do what with $1.8 billion? And the Attorney General just said out loud, anybody can apply for that money.
I'm applying. Where do I find one?
I'm applying. I had to do a live radio show
in the middle of
while they broke into the Capitol.
What is happening right now?
And then I had somebody on the side off air going, don't get political. And I'm like,
how do I not?
This has literally never happened in any of our lifetimes.
What is it, 1815
What
right
do
now?
you want me to do about this?
Are the British burning down the White House? It's happening. I digress. What do we got in the Magic Hat today?
Okay.
I got some audio segments in here.
We got a lot of audio.
Yeah, we got a lot of audio.
Hopefully
We got a
we
lot
get
of
to
audio.
it. Oh, Spokane Karen? Is that an old one?
I think we talked about this. This was the mom that chased down the kids on the sidewalk.
Oh, we
in
did talk
Spokane.
about that one.
I think we
yeah.
ended up talking about it. You
I
can
think
toss
we,
that
toss
one.
that one.
You think
out.
she drives 135 miles per hour on the highway?
Chasing down
I think she
kids.
wanted to murder that child on a motorbike. Yes.
Those
By
damn
the way,
scooters. Those damn kids in their scooters.
what is Spokane mom? I wonder what her sentence was, if that's gotten to that point yet.
Oh, I don't know. Probably hasn't gotten that far. That story wasn't that old, was it? That was only a week or two ago, wasn't it?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Did we already sentence? There's no way we've already sentenced.
She was booked for first-degree assault and DUI and criminal trespass.
Oh, she was boozing while driving, too? Yeah.
I don't think you get to that point.
What kind of DUI are we talking here? Booze or like pills? Or was she?
I don't know.
Okay.
So she got Dewey.
All right.
All right, next one. Poor Toronto.
I had to sneak in a little bit of hockey here because I know we're not going to talk about it. The Maple Leafs have gone through a lot, and they are one of the biggest choke artists of all time in the modern era of the NHL, and they always lose in the playoffs, and their best player got hurt. They just hired a GM. We talked about that recently, who was like blackballed from hockey.
Didn't they get the number one pick in the draft?
They did end up getting the number one overall pick in the draft, but I know you guys probably, or not you guys, I know Brandon's a bit of a hockey guy. You probably weren't watching. Were you watching the game last night? Did you watch the Vegas?
Wait, what Brandon are you talking to? Because you pointed at him.
He's a hockey guy. Brandon's a hockey guy.
He is?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not blue line Brandon. But
He's not blue line Brandon.
You got to win your bets.
He's cross-check Brandon.
I watched
icing Brandon.
A smidge. Not gonna lie, smidge.
That's
I'm
fine.
more interested in the
totally fair.
Hurricane
I don't blame it.
Canadians. Okay?
I don't blame it. It's okay.
All right.
Western Conference, you don't need to excuse yourself to me. I
Well, I
get
hate
it.
the Avs.
I get it. Well,
I've
they
hated
were
the Avs
down
since the
3-0, and then they scored a goal, and it was like, all right, maybe there's a little bit of comeback here. Like, it kept me around at least, and it was an upset, right? Vegas pulls off an upset game one of the conference finals. One of the best players for Vegas throughout their postseason run has been Mitch Marner. Now, that name might not ring a bell to some, but Mitch Marner was at once upon a time, a la literally last year and years before that, the number 2 behind Austin Matthews in Toronto for all of their playoff chokes. Oof. And he became a bit of the,
blame?
The blame. Like,
The
you keep
scapegoat.
losing, you're like, God, why can't we get over the hump? Mitch Marner would have these great regular seasons, and then they'd get bounced in the first round of the playoffs, and he would do literally nothing in the series.
He's a Draisaitl.
They would be like, dude, this guy sucks. He can't do the big thing.
Yeah.
He's bad in the big moments.
Yeah, not a good number 2.
Get his ass out of here, right? So they get rid of him. Their season crumbles. Austin Matthews gets hurt. Now, to your point, they got the number 1 overall pick, so they'll probably be fine in the long run. He has been tearing it up for Vegas in the playoffs.
Oh, is he really?
He scored another goal last night to make it 2-0. Go back and look at his goal from the last round of the playoffs against Anaheim. I'm not kidding you. It might be the best postseason goal I have ever seen. Like, in terms of just an impressive feat. And so I just wanted to say poor Toronto as their former guy who...
Their number 2 is now proving to be a pretty good
I'm trying to think of an equivalent of, like, if we would have done what we should have done and traded CJ after he stepped out of bounds and the team had run its level and we're like, this is over. And CJ went on to... And this is still... They're not there yet. But, like, if CJ led a team to the Western Conference Finals and being like, dude, what? Huh? What? You stepped out of bounds. And I know he had his moment in Game 7, so not a fair comp.
It's a little bit of Stafford-ish.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Like, we all knew Detroit sucked, but, like, because he didn't do it, it was like, well, how good is he really? Right. And then he wins the Super Bowl.
It should be like Baltimore deciding Lamar is the reason we can't get over the hump in the playoffs. Let's move on from him, and Lamar lands in Atlanta, and they win a Super Bowl in the second year.
Or Baltimore stumbles, and the Giants win their division this year, and we go, what's going on there?
Did you blame the wrong guy there? Yeah. So, I just poor Toronto. Good for Mitch Marner. He's having a hell of a playoff run.
All right. Survivor oops.
Double dirt right out of the gate.
I feel like the last 3 hats are just all riding with dirt, which is great. You got audio.
Well, we got double the magic hats. We got another one to come. I only have 3 in there today, so only 2 of the 3. Do you guys watch Survivor?
I haven't watched Survivor since the old guy went against the gay guy.
I think that was the first season.
That's the one. And I remember
No, I shouldn't say that. I remember who was the guy who faked his grandma's death.
What?
You don't remember that guy?
No.
Dude, famous guy in Survivor.
He faked a death?
So they had you could go see a family. There was like some sort of major award where you get like a week to go be with blah, blah, stay in a hotel, like get off the island essentially.
You get out of island hell
and
pass.
He made up on the show that his grandma died. And everybody was like, dude, we feel so bad for you. Let's give you a moment to go talk with your family or do whatever. And it was all a lie.
Did he win?
He did not end up winning. He became like a famous... Somebody's going to text in the name, and I get it.
The only one I've ever watched was, I think, season 1 because my mom was interested, and I'll never forget this. I was at the Great Clips off of Halsey at Gateway, and I was getting my hair cut, and the whole place was debating who they wanted to win.
Everybody's yelling about it.
There was a lot of homophobic comments made in that haircut salon at that time.
I'm sure there were.
A lot of rooting for the old guy.
I'm sure there were.
And then you had a couple for the other guy, and that's about all the Survivor I've watched.
Well, this happened last night, so they are doing Survivor 50 right now.
They're on the 50th?
50th.
I'm not that old.
Well, they do more than one.
They do 2 in a year?
I think they double up. They double dip.
Oh, okay.
That sounds right.
All right.
So this is Survivor 50. They are having their live season finale show. It's a 3-hour show last night. Okay. Now, the show obviously tapes months in advance. They put it together. It doesn't air live, right? So the outcome of the show has already been decided.
Okay.
So they're now doing this like live reunion show. In the middle of the show, Jeff Probst brings out somebody. I'm going to try and explain it before I play the audio so you get it. And he basically says, you go ahead and sit down with the jury. This is our final jury, ladies and gentlemen. However, the segment that they recorded months ago in which this guy lost the competition to become a part of the jury had not aired yet. It was a part of the 3-hour finale, so nobody knew that he was eliminated, and this is how it sounded.
Hey, Rizzo, you become the final member of our jury. Take a spot over here. This is it. These are the people. Their games fell a little short, but this is the group that is going to figure out what just happened.
They didn't show the fire.
Fire hasn't happened yet.
Huh?
The fire hasn't happened yet.
Keep going.
I'm not even sure what's happened, but up next, we're going to have one final surprise for the players, and this surprise they like. This is going to be interesting.
Survivor fans were livid last night.
He ruined the whole reveal.
They came back from break, and he was like, we're doing live television, so let's go ahead and roll the fire tape, and then they showed the block in which the guy loses and becomes a part of the jury, and he completely ruined a 3-hour live finale of Survivor 50 last night. Now, maybe not ruin it.
At what point of a 3-hour show?
I don't know exactly
when what do you do if it's like the first hour and you got 2 more hours to fill?
Survivor fans can chime in. I'm not a Survivor guy. Johnny Fairplay, I think, was the guy's name. Is that
Johnny Fairplay? I think I saw him on a real what was the challenges?
Yeah, Johnny Fairplay. He became like a reality TV
Didn't he do
star.
like
He did like a little like Richard Nixon peace thing. He was the guy who
really
faked his grandmother's death.
Do you watch any of the reality games?
I don't. I can't do it.
The only one I participate in is Alone, but that's not as like controversial. It's one person being filmed at a time.
Yeah.
Are they going to survive?
Right.
That's kind of it for me.
Yeah, I haven't done Survivor in a long time. I just saw a lot of people were tweeting about this last night. Very upset that Jeff Probst, who, by the way, still hosting. A lot of work done.
Jeff Probst?
I had not seen Jeff Probst in a long time.
I haven't seen him since the first Survivor.
Me
and
neither.
You tell me we've got 50 more.
It's been about 30 years for me since I've seen Jeff Probst.
What a run for a show, by the way. Survivor going as long as it has.
Yeah.
Like, people always talk about American Idol. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 or 6 years older than American Idol, isn't it? Didn't it start in like the late 90s, early 2000?
I think so.
I think that was the first year, 2000.
Right. Ruben Studdard? Was that the first one?
No, the American Idol one started like 03, I think.
Okay.
03, 04?
Yeah, but who was the first one? Was it Kelly Clarkson?
It was Clarkson.
Clarkson over
Justin.
Whatever
his name is.
Redhead Justin.
Ruben Studdard.
Ruben Studdard.
Dude, I'm
Clay
sorry
Aiken?
for 2004. Clay Aiken ended up like running for office.
He became a congressman.
That's right.
He parlayed his powers.
Yeah,
All right.
did.
What else we got in there?
All right. Hopefully I say this right. Fonzie. Hey.
Yes, you did.
Hey.
So we have commencement speech season going on right now.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to a graduation in just a couple weeks. I don't know what that is going to be like. I'm sure it's going to suck.
It's going to suck.
Until I can take a photo with my niece and say, good job passing high school.
At the end of it, it's fun. But during the process,
sure,
nobody wants to be there.
A lot of speeches out there. You mentioned Eric Church at UNC. He's gotten a lot of traction. Tom Brady has one. I don't know if you gave him that audio clip.
Oh, yeah, he's in there.
So we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Here is Henry Winkler. Did you get this one in time? Henry Winkler at I think it's Emerson College commencement speech. Just snippet.
Are you in therapy?
Nope. That's not it. You gotta hit stop. Nope. It's the other clip I sent you.
It's the other clip.
Yeah.
The 3-second one? Not the drop, right?
Nope,
Is this
not
another
the drop.
one that you didn't send me that you thought you did?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I sent you the Winkler one, didn't I?
You're struggling with audio clips today, buddy.
Am I?
You are.
No, I sent it to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it? All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you play it off your email?
Maybe. You want to keep explaining and then maybe I'll keep it.
Let him pull up the clip.
I'm having a real rough week here.
Should we pull? Let's just pull another one. We'll get to that one in the next
Let's
segment.
just do this. I'll say this. How many kids in the graduating class know Henry Winkler from Happy Days versus Barry? Or Scream?
What about Waterboy?
Or Waterboy?
What else are we missing?
I just was wondering, like, what is, because I thought his speech was great.
Henry Winkler's a great guy.
The clip we're gonna play was just gonna be a basic, like, care about more than just stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a great message.
As we all should. Stuff doesn't matter.
And it's a great speech. I found it incredibly motivating, actually. His enthusiasm, his energy behind it. I love Henry Winkler.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just curious how many graduating seniors in a college.
Do people still watch Happy Days?
I think it airs.
Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days. Wednesday. Like, I watched that all the time when I was a kid.
watched it a ton.
Nick at Night was like...
in the summer?
Yes. All summer long.
You'd be
Wonder
up at midnight.
Years.
Yes, all
Happy
of
Days.
them.
You'd stay up. Your dad would let you
the
stay up.
monkeys
Like,
would come on.
Yes.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
Dude,
all the old school shows would come on.
But, I mean, your daughter's kind of doing that now, right? She's getting into older shows.
She's not going to watch Happy Days.
But not Happy Days.
I wouldn't even know where to find Happy Days outside of just purchasing it on, like, an Amazon.
Let's see if it's streaming anywhere.
There's probably a channel, like a Pluto something.
The relevance of it is... It's on Pluto TV.
Is it really on Pluto?
But also, like, for us...
Everything's on Pluto.
For us in our generation, so Happy Days aired from 74 to 84. So it was on for 10 years.
Which, by the way, everybody thinks it was actually being filmed.
No, yeah, right.
Like, the kids who catch up to it, like me, I remember finding out what year it was actually made. I'm like, what?
Right. Because what's the director's name that did the Grinch?
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like...
I know.
If you filmed it in the 50s, he wouldn't be alive anymore.
But that's how it looks when you watch it.
It's also another one of those great reminders of how time just distorts your mind of, like, for our generation growing up, like, we were watching that show in the, mid to late 90s.
Yes.
And it was a flashback show on Nick at Night
yes.
that had stopped airing 15 years earlier.
Right.
That show would be the equivalent of a show that stopped airing in 2010.
So, like watching old Survivor episodes. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
By the way, he found the audio, so I apologize for the audio mix-up.
Okay.
Here is Henry Winkler, just a snippet of his commencement speech.
It was said in Washington not too long ago, America, the problem with America, we have too much empathy. Well, you can live a life, you can accomplish, you can accumulate a lot of stuff, you can fill your house and then fill your garage and fill your basement, but you cannot live a rich life if you don't have empathy.
So that's just like 25 seconds of...
Dude, him giving a commencement speech, like I don't know if that, to your point, does it resonate with the kids? I don't know. For me, that would be so cool. Well, have you seen his Mahomes stuff, by the way?
Yes.
He's like a diehard Chiefs fan. He like wants to invite Mahomes over for meatloaf for dinner. They become like friends every time he's doing I think he was on Kelly Clarkson's show a year or two ago, and he was like, Patrick, if you're listening right now, I love you. You're great. And then Patrick reached out to him, and he was like, I'm a big fan of the Happy Days. And they ended up meeting together on like the sidelines of a game or something.
He just seems very delightful.
Yes.
And I think they loved the speech based on watching it, but I was wondering how many students are aware.
Had no clue about his.
That of like all the things he's done.
Yeah. The Fonz.
It's Fonzie. Like, do you get what that is?
That was cool, man.
Moment in time.
Moment in time. Shout out to Fonz. More Magic Hat next. 105.1 FM The Fan.
Center Update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Big's Chicken. Try their smoked and fried wings, tossed in the perfect dry rub and served with a trio of killer sauces. Menus at bigschicken.com. First on the fan for this update, I'm going to put on my swag LA Dodgers hat here for a second.
Are you a Dodger fan, Brandon?
Say it. Say it.
I mean, you lived in LA.
Okay,
I
so
don't
here
blame
we
you.
go. Here we go.
We don't blame you.
I'm a Red Sox fan.
Okay.
When Mookie Betts got traded to the Dodgers, I am a pseudo-Dodgers fan because Mookie Betts is my favorite player.
Okay. All right.
So just
I'll allow
throwing
it.
that out there.
Did you watch Game 7 of the World Series?
Yes.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Well, you're more of a Dodger fan than Swag.
Anyways, Shohei Ohtani back in the lineup as he was a leadoff hitter and he was the starting pitcher last night. He hit a home run off the first pitch of the game, and then he goes on to pitch 5 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts and a 4-0 win over the Padres. His ERA through his 8 starts,
dominant,
.73. Yeah, insane.
In the animal kingdom, welcome, come on down. Talk about smart animals. Mm-hmm. It started in 1970. Chimpanzees were the first animals to demonstrate mere self-recognition. Come on into the club. The beluga whale.
Baby beluga in the deep blue sea?
They have studied them for over 20 years, and they have now fully concluded beluga whales, when you give them a mirror, recognize themselves, make funny faces, and even watch themselves do barrel rolls.
That's pretty cool. Teddy Ballgame loves baby beluga. We're into that.
Dude, beluga whales.
Baby beluga in the deep
so
blue
cool.
sea. Those are all the words that I know from there. We can debate Aaron Rye winning the PGA Championship. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? I said it ruined my weekend. Stand by the take. You know what was pretty solid, though, out of it? The ratings. We didn't talk about this week. They had their most watched, CBS did, most watched final round of the PGA Championship in 5 years. It was up over 21% from last year, and the audience peaked in the back stretch of the back 9 with over 8 million viewers. And it was the most streamed final round ever with a 56% growth in average minute audience. So Aaron Rye, not the most entertaining guy for me, and I wish it would have been a bigger name, but a lot of people watched at least.
I don't believe you.
That's Dirk Sprague and Brandon from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the Fan Sports.
Magic hat down, another one to go. I'm going to throw some odds at you in the final segment, and we got a Eastern Conference Finals doubleheader. No, not doubleheader's not the word. Twin billing. Does that work? Some ECFs going on tonight?
A throwback to a segment earlier. Tom has responded on social media to our poll question, are you friends with your neighbors? So my neighbor thinks he's the head of our HOA. We don't have an HOA, so no, I'm not friends with it.
It can go bad. For as good as some neighbor stories are, it can also take a...
The nosy neighbor, what are you doing with that car over there?
Right.
Fixing it. Mind your business.
We also have Matt Sprecher, former coworker who threw Monte Ellis' bobblehead into the Willamette River.
Nobody named him, by the way. You just
he knows that. He knows who he is. It's all right. Yeah. Give him a shot. He wants to call in and defend his honor.
Of like an all-time bad sports take?
I mean, it's brutal, but if I had to do that and face that moment for what would be the equivalent of Oregon? I'd have to do something Oregon-related and them going on a run where they win like 3 titles in 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but it would be something like that, and I would have no problem saying, like, yeah, I threw that guy's bobblehead into the river. We won.
To me, it's more Randy Quaid, Major League, screaming and
suck.
Yelling at his team. You suck, you're terrible, they're the worst, and then they
Young
win.
Hanson's probably the strongest one we got going right now as a show. If Young Hanson turns out to beat Chinese Jokic and leads us to a championship.
Or Tom Dundon makes them the Seattle Superblazers.
Would also not age well. To each their own.
Be all right.
All right, what else we got?
Joey Troublemaker.
Yeah, how about this one? Everybody's a national hero. I still maintain, look, he might be your GOAT. He might be your GOAT.
National hero?
Nobody is Kobayashi, okay?
Oh.
Nobody
What's
will
Chestnut
ever
up
be
to
bigger
these days?
than Kobayashi. He beat Kobayashi, Sprague. Yeah, that was at the tail end of his prime, okay? Kobayashi in his prime would out-eat Joey Chestnut. But okay, your hero out here assaulting people at bars.
Is Joey Chestnut is that anybody's hero? Is there one
in July? On July 18th?
Is there one person?
On July 4th?
Does anybody have a Joey Chestnut poster in their room?
Somebody has Joey Chestnut signed wrist wear somewhere. There's a headband somewhere.
What is the gear for professional eaters? Is it the wristband to
It's
wipe
the wristband.
the sweat away?
It's the shirt.
The Nathan's
T-shirt.
shirt.
That's like a jersey shirt. It's
Dude,
weird.
This guy constantly getting into trouble is absolutely hilarious.
Did you see this story?
I did not.
He got arrested and he assaulted a patron at a bar. Now look, did the guy probably say, "Hey, scarf a wiener down again"? Probably. He probably asked for it.
Some guy just bad-mouthing Chestnut in public. He deserved it. How dare you take a shot at our champion?
Do you know how pathetic?
How many wieners could he eat, Joy? Put a wiener in your mouth.
You just order hot dogs and send them to him and have the waiter be like, "Those hot dogs are for him over there."
I don't eat
and then
the
you
wiener.
just wave at Joey. "Yeah, those wieners are for me. Eat all of them, I dare you." I don't know what you do to get.
I think you get punched in the face. I think that's what happens here. I think that's what this guy did.
But why are you badgering Joey Chestnut?
Yeah, if you see Joey
of
Chestnut,
all the celebrities in the world, if I saw Joey Chestnut, I'd be like, "All right, cool. You guys have Diet Coke here."
you just move along with your day.
I could not care less.
Yeah, so would he punch somebody in the face at a bar?
I don't know if he punched him in the face. He assaulted somebody. He was arrested. He's been put on probation.
He's on probation.
Don't worry. Your July 4th has not been ruined. He will be allowed
Thank
to
God.
participate
Thank God.
in the eating 80 wieners contest.
Thank God. We can't take that away. This is
America on her 250th birthday?
This is 250, dude. This is a big year.
Now,
we're not risking this.
Some people on the internet have speculated that Trump made a phone call because you can't not have Joey Chestnut scarfing wieners down on America's 250th birthday.
250 years is pretty wild. Every time I see that, the 250 stuff, I think of Dazed and Confused. Because that was the year that they filmed, had the movie based in, was the 200th anniversary.
Yeah.
And I just, now that I see 250, I'm like, God, that just makes me
You're
feel.
doing 50 years calculation? Like as if you've been living for 50 years?
I have not been alive for 50 years. It just makes me feel old. Because I remember watching that movie a ton when I was younger and being like, damn, 200 years is a long time, and now we're at 250.
I do have a neighbor in my neighborhood that's... Man, yeah, you'd think it was his firstborn child's birthday.
We're going big or we're going home this year. You don't sell yourself short for 250.
Well,
we're going all out.
The economy might be doing that on the fireworks purchases.
That is true. As inflation hit fireworks, what are we talking this year?
We might set a record this year in this country of all-time homemade whistling peat bombs. To make up for the fireworks we can't afford.
Can't wait until 4 nights before the 4th of July. I forget the 4th of July, and then I hear those at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my dog starts barking, and my kid starts crying. I can't wait for that. I'm eagerly awaiting.
Joey Chestnut is going to be back.
Don't you take away our hero.
Don't worry.
All right? Don't you do it. What else we got?
American hero.
Yes.
Low blow.
Yeah, this, speaking of commencement speeches, I don't know what the beef is here. I don't know why this shot was taken, but nonetheless, the people who are on the side of the joke are like, dude, what's your beef? What's going on here? Tom Brady was giving the commencement speech. Now, let me see where this was.
I saw part of this commencement speech.
Did he talk about getting Botox?
No, but he dropped
cheating on his wife and not being a good father? I'm sorry. Georgetown. He was at Georgetown.
The Hoyas?
He's at the Hoyas. Here's how you do it. You open mouth kiss your kids, and you're not a present father.
Not giving that commencement
yes,
speech?
we're talking about practice, man. Practice don't matter.
Now, I said years ago, practice. You guys actually do need to practice to be better at something.
The Tom Brady stuff, can he just go away forever? He's giving a commencement speech.
Anti-Tom Brady.
I can't stand him.
Fascinating.
Get a little bit more surgery, Tom. Maybe one more needle in the face, and then you'll be done. One more needle in the forehead, and you're set. Here is Tom Brady, though, taking a random shot at a university.
We called the play. It was a little square out to Danny Amendola. Danny went undrafted out of Texas Tech. He was cut by 3 NFL teams. He wasn't the tallest. He wasn't the fastest, but he had a huge heart. And he played his ass off in the biggest moments. And I hope you guys find colleagues like Danny. Having business school friends are great, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you need a kid from a glorified community college who can bail your ass out of any jam.
Texas Tech people are on the side like, whoa, dude.
Let's also be fair.
What did we ever do to you?
He knows what he's doing with that comment.
We slang
That's
tortillas.
Absolutely a backhanded, Danny, did you catch that? The glorified community college line?
Is it that easy to get into Texas Tech? I mean, I assume it is, but I don't know. I don't know anybody who's ever gone to Texas
I bet
Tech.
if you're good at football, it's incredibly difficult to get into that institution.
I mean, you could do that everywhere, right? Like anywhere you go.
I have Texas Tech as the Oregon State. Your 3.0 GPA, you're in.
Yeah, you're good to get in.
Yeah. What's your SATs? Doesn't matter. 3.0 GPA, you're in.
What's the easiest school to get into in Texas, do you think? University of Texas is a good school. I know that.
Yeah, but if you're an in-state Texas kid, is it 3.2 and you're in?
I don't know.
Is Texas got high standards?
Talk about a place that I would not want to go.
Oh, I mean, actually, according to Sark, it's the hardest academic institution in the world.
Right.
They would never let any dum-dum in.
According to Google,
72% acceptance rate.
72% for Texas Tech?
Mm-hmm.
This says UTEP is the easiest one to get into in Texas. They have an acceptance
nobody
rate.
wants to go to El Paso.
Nearly 100%. You just file an application, brother.
Wait,
you
did
can
you
get
apply?
In.
Not a mistake? You're in.
Texas State is at 90%. How is that possible?
Texas State?
How do nearly 100% of people get in that apply?
Because not that many.
That's true. University of Houston, 74, then Texas Tech, 73. So technically, there are 3 schools in the state of Texas that are easier to get into than Texas Tech.
That is a great line. I caught a little bit of his thing. Like, it's kind of the usual Brady stuff, chip on the shoulder.
Rings. Yeah, nobody gave
Never
me a
doubt
chance.
yourself.
I was fat and flubby back in the day. Now look at me, I'm chiseled.
Let me look at something real quick. Texas State's. So what do you think Texas State's enrollment is?
Texas State is now a proud member of the Pac-12, don't you know?
It is.
What their enrollment is? Oh, God, I don't know.
44,500.
How does that compare to other schools? I'm horrible at that. Like, what's Oregon's enrollment?
I feel like
Oregon's in the hole right now. Did I see those? Like, we're
in the hole for a couple years, dude.
Just hemorrhaging money right now.
They're closing. Yeah, they're like firing. Let's see.
Are they firing a lot of people? Is Tom
Oregon
Dundon doing
State
that?
is at 38.
So Texas State is bigger than
Dude,
Oregon
Oregon's
State?
at 24-4.
20. Yeah, that's not very good.
No, it's barely above Portland State.
Those out-of-state California kids coming back and paying that out-of-state tuition. We got to close a budget gap here, people. Let's go. Phil, where are you at on that one, man? All right, we got time for one more?
We got one more. I think I have one more in that.
One more.
Yes, you do. It is real-life teaching.
Okay. This, I'm glad we get to walk off on this one. This is an 8th grade teacher. She recorded herself, but what she did is through the year, she documented comments that her 8th grade students said to her, like off the cuff.
Oh, okay.
And now she is going to proceed. I cut out a little bit. She had pretty long gaps in between. So instead of a 2-minute clip, it's like a minute. She proceeds to just rattle off all of the comments she wrote down that the 8th graders actually said to her out loud. Take a listen.
Are you in therapy? You seem like the type. You look like my grandpa's couch. A student got the answer right and yelled, "Yeah, I felt that one in my nuggets." Your pants look like trash bags sewn together. Ha ha, trash bag pants. I don't get why you write so much on my rough draft. I'm not reading all that, bruh, for real, for real. Miss Dugan, the toilet paper in this school sucks. I just got dookie on my hand. Fat ass alert. That one ended up being about me. I was eating some crackers. And finally, how does it feel to be the only unmarried teacher in this school?
They're ruthless, dude. Oh, my God. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I felt that one in my nuggets.
How does she look? Somebody said Miss Dugan's a baddie. Somebody text
She's
that
actually
in.
kind of hot.
She's kind of hot.
You know,
Yeah.
she's like a youngerish teacher.
We're
But
calling
like,
her fat for eating crackers. Calm it down, kids.
I can't tell. Outside of
That's
the
fantastic.
yeah, I felt that in my nuggets. I can't tell if I love trash bag pants.
Trash pants.
Or the paper here sucks.
I got
dookie on.
We've all been there, kiddo. We've all been. That's that single ply, man. You got to bunch it up real good if you got single ply. You know the public schools ain't going for double ply.
She said, "Why are you the only one not married here?"
That's, dude, another stark reminder of how underpaid teachers are.
I'm not reading all that, bruh.
For real. Stop writing on my rough draft. It's just a rough draft, all right? For real.
You look like somebody in therapy.
You said there's more of that? Is there another minute of those?
No, I cut out one of them. One of them was, whatever.
Yeah.
So I did cut one out that wasn't funny
great.
at all.
Wasn't that good.
And then she just had a lot of gaps. Like she read one.
And kind of look at the camera.
And she just allow you to process, and then she'd move on to the next. So I just trimmed the gaps down to make it.
I was hoping there was more because that was just...
that was fantastic stuff.
Just great stuff. I laughed so hard on the I felt that in my nuggets.
Yeah, I felt that one in my nuggets.
That's right.
If Oregon wins the national championship,
I'm going to feel that in my nuggies, baby. I'm going to feel that one in my nuggies. Let's close it up next on the Fam. Good thoughts coming in at the fan text line, 503-864-6326. Where did this go? My kid's in middle school. My wife's a middle school teacher. I can confirm this is truly what daily communication is like for real, for real. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was my 10-year-old son saying that. Another one, 8th grade teacher here. They are the absolute worst. I've been teaching for 16 years. They get worse every year. They're more like elementary kids now. No way most of them graduate.
It's an encouraging comment to hear.
The future is bright. I couldn't do it. 8th grade, I could not do.
8th grade's tough.
I feel like I would just be wanting to teach in middle. I could do like younger elementary school would be a lot of fun. Like, it's a lot of herding cats. I get it.
A lot of loudness, man.
A lot of loudness. I get that. Yeah. But you're like, and then the end of like being able to like coach in high school and teach like PE or gym. Like, I could do that.
Yeah.
But the middle school stuff, like, kids in middle school are just ruthless.
Oh, they're going through a really tough time in their lives and they're projecting it out on everybody else.
Yes.
Would you rather have somebody tell you you're wearing trash bag pants?
Trash pants.
Or have a kid just kick you in the shin and run away from you? Because that's what you have choice-wise.
That is true.
And also,
elementary school with a 3rd grader.
You know the Dookie finger comment that he made? At least that kid washed his own hands. Now you have to wash the kid's hands in elementary school.
Mr. Johnson,
I got Dookie on my hands.
I got poo-poos on my fingers.
So
I'm already dealing with that.
Careful with your
careful
with your comments.
It's my day in and day out life right now. You got poo on those fingers. Let's go clean them off, baby.
I might have to look into this. I guess there is a video. My cousin sent me this. There's a video series called White Teacher, Black Teacher.
Okay.
So they're both comedians, but they're also teaching.
Okay.
And they're teaching at schools that have predominantly the opposite race.
Doing videos like this,
and they're
the things that are said.
Things that are said that they
That's
hear.
Good.
I have to go through the audio and see if we can pull some cuts from that one.
Oh, that was fantastic. All of our teachers deserve to get paid more money. By the way, wanted to give a quick update because I did try and do a little bit of legwork on this after the show yesterday, the Cargo Short Classic. Which will happen.
You're calling it that because Joe Fisher's like, I don't wear cargo shorts.
Him saying he doesn't want it to be named that is making me want it to name it that more often.
Okay.
And it was a listener suggestion. We're running with it. TM. We're not going to, don't sue us, all right? The cargo short, we even had Ralph who created, I don't know if people saw this, you can go at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. He had like an AI generated like fight poster made for it.
It was so good.
And it is fantastic.
Wait.
So I retweeted it at Dirt and Sprague. I retweeted it with our show account. So you can go check it. He made like a whole AI. Shout out to Ralph and Gresham for putting that together. Fantastic stuff. It is so good. We have a tentative date.
Danny's picture says, I don't always drop bombs. Or I don't always golf, but when I do, I drop bombs. Right. Joe, I don't need luck. I have a 7-iron in questionable choices.
A tentative date has been set. Pencil, not Sharpie. Saturday, June 20th. Okay, we got finalizing needs to happen.
The following Saturday.
It's your wife's 40th birthday, so you're out that weekend. Danny said he could do the end of June. Okay. I checked with Joe. I want Joe to have a little bit of a runway here. He has not played golf in a month and a half.
He tweaked the back.
Because he tweaked his back, but he said he's starting to feel better. He's going to start going to the range.
He's almost 10 years younger than Danny, and he's dealing with back issues.
Well, that's the beauty of the Cargo Short Classic. Will they make
it out
alive?
To Danny's point, I dare you to lift 100 pounds.
I don't think he could, but... I mean, he can. I'm not going to say that. Joe could lift 100 pounds. But that's a tentative date, okay? So once we finalize it, we're going to reach out to our partners, the golf partners.
We're trying to figure out a golf course to work
around the area. Yeah. We'll figure it out and find a way to make it available for everybody to watch or be there. So I'll let you know. More details to come. Right now, a tentative date, less than 1 month from now, June 20th, Saturday. We get the Eastern Conference Finals Game 2 in the NBA and Eastern Conference Finals Game 1 in the NHL. Are Blazer fans curious how this goes? Like, is there any aspect of watching this for Blazer fans?
For the what?
For the Hurricanes.
Sorry, the graphic.
It's okay. I know. The graphic's good.
Joe says it's not a slice. It's a draw to the right.
It's okay. No, I'm just drawing it to the right. It's going in that direction.
What are Blazer fans?
Are Blazer fans curious how Carolina's going to do? Or is that like we don't give a rip because he's Tommy Two Nickels firing everybody?
I mean, I think there's a sports fan that exists that's like roots for the Blazers to be good and relevant and also like dabbles in watching hockey. And I think there's people that love playoff hockey, and also, they go to Blazer games and they follow what's going on.
Okay.
The majority?
Don't care.
They might see the score tonight, they might see a snippet of the game, or they'll find out tomorrow that Carolina won.
Hey, look at that. Well, it's at 5 o'clock on TNT. Game 1 is in Raleigh. Somebody asked earlier jokingly, do they do towels or T-shirts? They do towels.
They're towels only.
They wave them quite often throughout the course of the game. Should be an awesome atmosphere. Interesting part about that game is that Carolina hasn't played a game in like a month. They swept their way through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
The rust
They've just been
rest.
chilling for a week and a half. It's really weird. Game 2 in the NBA, I said it after Game 1 when the Knicks came all the way back and won. That was it. It's over. Did we get a 2-0 series lead for the Knicks tonight? 5.5-point favorites at home.
Yeah, I actually thought they looked rusty. And I thought
Same thing.
Cleveland took advantage of it. They just couldn't close them out. I picked the Knicks in 5. I'm still going to stick with that. Yeah, I think New York wins tonight.
Okay. Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA and NHL. That will do it for us, folks. If you missed any of the show, you can go check the podcast, 1051thefan.com, 1051thefan on Twitter, at Dirt Sprague on Twitter. Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of our Thursday fun little show. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. And there you go. Enjoy your 80-degree weather. We will talk to you tomorrow at 6 a.m. The Firm, Harrison Meringue is next. Listen to 1051 FM The Fan.